Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. It is currently 8:25 a.m. on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. And I want to document a couple of things. First of all, the City of Ontario crossing path in the parking lot of the Stater Brothers inside of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. This is the same state actor that was stalking in front of the Omnitrans bus in the morning yesterday. And they're always stalking. City of Ontario is a stalker, but the municipality using a dumpster truck stalking in front of the bus, which I document on my podcast with directed light streaming across the road. So you're talking about what is a glaring request to be documented while I'm entering the parking lot of the Stater Brothers, which is what the people do on a daily basis. And it's my duty, so I'm obliged. 8ULU 644 is in the same parking lot monitoring, and doing so under the fake sun and in directed light. Also, Amtrak crossing path coming from transit while I was at the B&G Plaza, 7NRF 884. And then crossing path. So while they drive onto Holt Boulevard, that is crossing path, directed light sprawling across the road while a large Amtrak coach is crossing path at the intersection of Plum and Holt. Okay. And that is P.O.C. Again, Amtrak, like I said, their train tracks are used by Union Pacific. Amtrak is not running a train on that through Ontario Station. And also you have what is Amtrak that's not ignorant of it. They are engaging in the pattern of conduct also. 8W96074. And also Amtrak was monitoring me as I went across state lines, by the way. That was interstate commerce, while they were monitoring me in 2017 when I was going to Arizona and I traveled back to California. They were monitoring. All right. 7RIV127. And that's what I mean with regard to these commercial actors, that they are routinely engaged in interstate commerce. And with regard to the state of California's criminal system, Amtrak, Union Pacific, the commercial actors I've identified, they are entering and crossing state lines in violation of state law with the criminal intent to place another under surveillance. All right. And threatening their life while doing so. You're doing on behalf of a government. You're doing it maliciously as a company, thinking that you're going to get away with that. That's entirely threatening conduct by what their condition is demon possessed. You're talking about the demon possessed who are using companies, using logos, owning, operating, and working for such companies. Yes, that's the P.O.C. It's in violation of Title 18. So anyway, I want to document that as well. It is currently 8:27 a.m., 6TCA 851, 7RIV127. Every time, and by every time I mean twice. So I came to Stater Brothers this morning, and then we went to B&G Plaza, and then I was dropped back off at Stater Brothers. And the state's fake sun remains over me, going both directions, coming from 630 North Fern, 5JTF 508. While this demon walks around in a circle, he's got gray jeans on, a gray cap, and a black t-shirt. He's carrying a red face mask. He's walking in Stater Brothers right now. 8HFJ 867, and he's walking through the east entrance while directed light is on the brick wall above that demon. 8VWX 846. And so every time I'm arriving, the state sounding plane engine's right above my head. 8HFJ 867, 8ZED 372, 8TBX 511. Paper plate BE77G21. 8CFF 955, 5LHH 379, 8HPF 103, 71990E3, 8GHB986, 8DXC330, 8MON656, 7SMC876. I think I read that one. 8KED587, that's Safeguard on Demand. 7JHV774, 7UKP415, 14129U1. Patrolling in and out of the parking lot. They're just demons, cockroaches, just moving all around. And it's pathetic. License plate, and they're psychopaths. It's like a cartoon they're in while all this directed light and a fake sun is over them. GE005, handicap 4ZFA250. And they're really entirely psychopath because their ordinary act is to maintain themselves as though this is everyday life, this is normal, I don't know you. And you're talking about dealing with Satan. I mean, you are an entire freak, psychopath, weirdo, and stalker while you're doing all of that under a fake sun. Okay, 53424S1, right? Who even thinks of something like that? Let me tell you something, a psychopath. And that's what's wrong with them, they're demons. License 8NSU564. An old bag of bones, okay? Old, and stalking, sitting around in the car in the parking lot. It's 8:30 a.m. 6N48333. Alrighty, it's 8:33 a.m. and I did capture the state's fake sun right over me while my back is to San Antonio, which is west. And so I am facing east while the state's fake sun is cozy right over the corner of the building of the grocery store. And I want to be clear, that is movement. In order for me to capture that, first of all, at this same venue, that is movement of the state's fake sun, which you are witnessing. All right. It moves over to the corner to be over the Miss Donuts in order to continue aiming light onto me. That's not going to be the case when I'm showing you why I'm at the front entrance of Stater Brothers and it's over that center area of the parking lot. Okay, this is a hovering light source that you see engaging in an ongoing migration as I take step by step by step. Second of all, you're talking about that which is also not even going to be visible whatsoever, and it certainly isn't over the edge of the corner over the Miss Donuts, advancing beyond the Stater Brothers when the state has kept its fake sun over me at 630 North Fern, and that indeed is the fake sun. All right, that's why I'm including that, because you're talking about what is not the sun that does not remain over a street. So you're talking about what's the state's light source, the state's fake sun that is keeping over me, and that's how you know a demon such as 6VBC273 is a stalker. All right, including this one sitting in their car as well, a stalker, 7AXR654. Okay, psychopaths. 8GWC282, directed light while these demons are sitting in their car, demons in position, psychopaths. Alrighty, these demons are engaging in what is positioning, focused on me, under a fake sun while directed light sweeps across the storefronts. Okay, they're stalking. And they're demons. They're absolute psychopaths. They are of demon possession. Understand that's their condition. 5GGFO23 and 6XCJ153. And so like I was stating, you have what is never being able to see that. Oh, goodness. We got another one. Let me show you this demon. And a rapist. This one with his bloodshot eyes holds up his phone to block his face while he's stalking me sitting in his car. Let me be clear. This is license plate 8WHH142. These demons are in position, all of them sitting in their cars in front of the coin laundry where directed light is moving across that storefront. So like I was stating, those are demons. Okay, they're just engaging in positioning. These are literally the defeated minions of Satan's army. Okay, which Satan's army is no formidable adversary whatsoever. I'm gonna drag every single last one of them together. All right, I'm gonna bag them up like the trash that they are. All right, like the sickos that they are, and reveal them to be that, like I've done, showing you the pattern of conduct. And I'm gonna prosecute them and ship them back to wherever they belong if they're not even natural born citizens. 6N48333. 4HSDO29, 6FFE614, 7LOK377, 4GKM995, 8PNW326, 7GTT205, I read that one, 53424S1. And so you have what is the state keeping its fake sun on the first over me at 8:30, which I showed you in the morning. I showed you yesterday at the B&G Plaza, while my back is toward the direction of what would be 630 North Fern, which you're also not going to see as the state is hovering its light source directly over that venue of 630 North Fern. But nonetheless, it's in the opposite direction. Okay, my body is facing south. And by the way, while I'm right here at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, I'm not facing south, I'm facing east.
because the state is moving its fake sun based on where I'm at. All right. And you're also talking about what is mutually exclusive. It's in alignment with me. Yesterday, it's in alignment with me at the B&G Plaza where I remain. And today, I'm sorry, well, it's over the Ontario Village Shopping Center, but I showed you on the 1st at the same time, 8:30, the state's fake sun is over the 630 North Fern. All right. You have what is my ability to capture it at this same venue, 6C92679, while I was here earlier in the morning yesterday. All right. Not going anywhere over near San Antonio. We go into the Stater Brothers, and then I go to the B&G Plaza, and I captured those videos, 8:17. I capped 8:23. I'm showing you this before even 8:30. Whereas on the 1st, I didn't go anywhere up until 8:30. I remained at 630 North Front. This is the ongoing witnessing of Stalking with Light. 6UQU766. And that's why I captured on video. All right. So you have what is also what I captured yesterday, where I am at the B&G Plaza, and then I travel what is east on Hope Boulevard, going to the city of Fontana. All right. Going toward what I just did right now is in direct conflict with that. I'm already at the B&G Plaza at this time yesterday, and I remain there. And then I get on the bus and I go toward the city of Fontana, where the state kept its fake sun over me in conformity to that long document pattern of conduct. And you have what is the state moving that fake sun. That's how I'm able to capture it over the Circle K at the intersection of Vineyard and Holt at 1850 East Holt Boulevard, 7DUA 547. All right. While demons are sitting on that bus engaging in the exact same position, because that's all that you're doing, and that is all that is around you are demons, where the entity is monitoring and stalking with a fake sun, which is entirely demonic. Okay, so you have what is the state filling the venue of Stater Brothers with directed light, reaching underneath the shaded structure of the store, which is, I mean, not just impossible. The state is going to the extreme, literally telling on itself with such light activity, because that is never, ever going to occur. Never. All right. And this is long document. I've already shown that. That's absolutely impossible light activity, let alone common sense. Step backwards and think about it, because the state's fake sun is over me at B&G Plaza. That's not light activity that's going to exist while that fake sun is hovering over me at the B&G Plaza, and then hovering, remaining over me through the window as I travel to the city of Fontana. But what is the state doing right now? Because it's a stalker, because it's a sex offender, that's how it's going to be prosecuted, that intends on touching while it's stalking you. It is aiming light underneath the structure so that there is no shade. Okay, that's a stalker with light. All right, that's what the wealth of documentation reveals as well. But it's not just that. The demons that I continuously document while they patrol around like the psychopaths that they are, just like this one, this white-faced demon, license 7TCC109, and this black-faced demon, monitoring with law enforcement, by the way, 5HZS073, directed light reaching backwards underneath the structure of the Stater Brothers. All right, that's why you document demons. They're psychopaths. All right, this white-faced demon, 7JPU628, carrying her communication device, 8NVZ130, and it is 8:39 a.m. So just want to document that. You're going to remember where I was yesterday. You're going to remember, just like I've pointed out, on December 31st. But like I said, that's just the immediate history, because you get a very sharp contrast with what the state is doing with that, which is clearly not the sun. All right. But then not even just that. You're talking about what is that ongoing documentation that has long existed. I have a history of what is revealing the state's continuity of purpose, which is to engage in terrorism. And that's exactly what you're doing. And you are a demon-possessed terrorist while you're monitoring with communication devices, not by yourself, but with an entire people, the people of the state, who are of the mutual condition that is demon possession. To stalk with light, as the people do and as the government does, is the demonstration outwardly of demon possession. They are thereby admitting to you in what is evidence to be used against them in a federal court, speaking to what is the threat that they pose and the government poses, and those government actors that I document pose to the very public while they are engaging in terrorism together. License 78448U1. That's exactly what that's going for. 7PDS628. 8KZG897. It's 8:41 a.m. All right, this is a minion, 7YJF464 with the pink sweater, well, short ponytail. This demon walks by me in the shade with a shopping cart directed light toward me. That's Satan, okay? And I took her images with the other demon, the male that covers up his face with a cross on the side, on the, what would be the right side of his mask. I'm sorry, the left side of his mask. 0449633 loiters while that directed light attacks me while they walk past. 05508L1. And then while that demon who I took a picture of, the demon who entered right now at 8:48 a.m. through the west entrance of Stater Brothers on camera, okay, pushing a shopping cart and wearing that black face mask with the cross on the left side of his face. You have what is the state moving directed light all across underneath that structure. All right, 7YJF464 is a demon-possessed stalker, and she's a terrorist. All right, and she's a sex offender. That's all of that analysis is going to that. She's touching, she's terrorizing without which is not even sunlight. She's stalking on behalf of the state by virtue of that P.O.C. And she is also demonstrating her condition, which is a threat to your life while she is stalking you with the government. And that is demon possession. That's why directed light and a fake sun is over me, by the way. And the demon possessed agency, that is the Ontario Police, go out of their way to visibly cross paths. That's the conspicuous stalking by the demon possessed agency, communicating a threat while they're listening to me document. All right, this is a demon that's running around with looks like a lawnmower over the sidewalk. He's a demon creating noise and engineered light, okay? A brown-faced one monitoring with law enforcement, by the way. Doesn't have anything to do with Black Lives Matter, Brown Lives Matter. They're demons. They're monitoring together. 8CFF955, an old fart, okay? His chin looks like it's about to fall off of his face, and he's touching me with direct light while he's stalking under the fake sun with law enforcement, okay? It is 8:49 a.m. P.O.C. Stater Brothers in the parking lot, pushing around shopping carts. Guess what that is? It's audible activity and relevant positioning. That's a demon that's just patrolling all around while this other demon is creating noise. While these demons walk by and directed light is appearing while they're walking by with shopping carts. That's Satan, okay? That's what I'm revealing to you. That's Satan. It is as ridiculous as them driving underneath the fake sun, but you're talking about literally looking at what are puppets of Satan. And they are looking like the clowns that they are. I'm going to prosecute them like the terrorists that they are. 7CKP 995. Hold on, let me get this demon's license plate. 7CKP9. Hold on. 995. 7CKP995. They're looking like the literal clowns. I mean, it's like they're in, but it's not a play. It's real life and it's very serious, okay? But being able to discern what their infection is, which is demonic, and also breaking down their conduct, which is criminal, but it's also of that infection, it's demonic. All right, and they look like the clowns that they are, literally clowns in a show that is like surreal, okay? But it's very real. People are walking by me in the shade, driving by under what is not a sun, and light is just like lasers, and you've seen it yourself. Now understand, but for documentation, you would never believe that. And let me be clear, that's exactly what Satan intended. That's exactly what Satan intended. And that is the malice of the system. And that's also going to the intensity of the prosecution. I'm going to profusely prosecute, and this is establishing precedent because this is what the government is doing to American citizens. In other words, what the Ontario Police Department demonstrate to you, that's what they're doing to American citizens. That's law enforcement's role. Those demons are going to be handled, okay, expeditiously. License 7V01918. It's entirely pathetic. Entirely pathetic. You embarrass demons. You prosecute them. You give them up what they need, which is justice. You embarrass them, though. All right. It is shameful and it is embarrassing, and you should be ashamed. And let me be clear: that hostility that I experienced from black-faced demons, demon-possessed stalkers, from white-faced demon-possessed stalkers, it doesn't matter what their race is. I'm dealing with Satan, the same entity, the same demonic entity, expressing that unfounded hostility, having nothing else to say about me, which isn't even true that I'm stupid. Honey, I'm far from stupid. That's why I'm prosecuting you. And Satan is mad about it. Mad about it. And I'm telling all of your secrets, all of them. And I'm going to embarrass you with it. I'm going to shame you. And then I'm going to put you into federal prison, into whatever mental ward, and whatever prosecution, whatever restrictions you need to have in your life, because you are a very threat to the public, which your pattern of conduct demonstrates. And this is literally applicable to the government itself. The government itself. All right, and that's just necessary as a matter of justice. It's not going to change. It shouldn't be lessened. To the contrary. It's even worse. It's exacerbated because the government is of this threat, posing this threat, and commissioning such communication of a threat by an entire people. All of them are freaks of nature, okay? They are hell-bound, demon-possessed puppets, all right, monitoring another one, okay, targeting me. I'm not of that condition. All right, I'm not subject to those chains. Oh, coming from Coin Laundry to come and stalk me? This is the Latino male that's at the venue who I've documented before in that same engineered light inside of that venue while those demons' heads were elevated in height and the depths of that Coin Laundry. He's over here standing in a perfect alignment, stalking by the water machine while I sit beside the Stater Brothers West entrance. That's a demon. He's a bald head Latino male, and he's got a blue hoodie on, and that demon walks in on camera at 8:53 a.m. This is P.O.C. GE005 handicap and 8NUF060 or 8NUE060. They're patrolling and loitering in the parking lot. And the state's fake sun remains. It's 8:54 a.m. All right, it is 9:01 a.m. You have what is crossing path by this the Asian female who you see, she's on her communication device. You have another employee exiting in relevant position as I walk out of the entrance. This is tracking my every step and monitoring as I walk out of the bathroom. 7MUU741, 7XMT248, 8UZG850. 8XRN182, and the tactic is to cross path and does so with a communication device. This is an Asian female. She looks about like and to be in her 20s. She's got shoulder length or a little past her shoulders, black hair, and she was also at the register where I completed my purchase this morning at the Stater Brothers with Kia. She is crossing path with me, entering inside of the hallway as I exit out. That is P.O.C. I just want to document that. It's 9:01 a.m. and I'm on the surveillance cameras inside of Stater Brothers. It is 9:01 a.m. This is P.O.C. All right, it's 9:58 a.m. Documenting on video 9:56. That is Amazon Prime. That is stalking in a commercial airline plane, flying in relevant position, flying west, hovering over the Ontario Village and making a U-turn, just like you saw U.S.C doing over me at the B&G Plaza yesterday while the fake sun was east of this location at 8:30 a.m. And today at 8:30 a.m. I showed you what is the state's fake sun over me at this location. This is where the state is targeting its fake sun and directed light. And that's what I showed on video right now, where the state's fake sun remains. 8SCW586, that's a demon, directed light on the ground as they cross path on the passenger side, and an enlarged shadow that is engineered light that they're driving in by the driver's side. All right. 5NTJ011 is group stalking, sitting in her vehicle in the passenger side as I capture that video of Amazon Prime flying over while the demons I'm identifying by license plate are patrolling in the path. She is stalking in the path, and that's that license plate. 7FBZ755, 6RPR604, 8LVZ691, 8RIB742, CA42J84. It's 10 o'clock on the dot right now. 4ZYS459. That's cool. 7ZTB474. 8YTH300, and this one touching again 4ZTB474, engaging in that ongoing act of terrorism as I documented third parties, commercial actors and demons such as 7ZTB474 touching with directed light while they drive past me under what is a fake sun. All right, that's exactly what I just experienced right now, is the ongoing terrorism and molestation of my person. While demons, these are the people of the state monitoring with the government, engage in an ongoing molestation of my person with what is engineered light, directed light. Sunlight does not bounce off your car. It does not shoot from your vehicle. It does not move all across the asphalt and up against buildings. That is directed light, and it's also demonic, and it's exactly what you saw in video while Unistar Foods drove by me, while the city of Ontario drove by me, while Omnitrans drove by me. I captured this on video yesterday. That's exactly what that demon just did, and with the license plate 7ZTB. While he exits on Bonita, he is stalking and he is molesting me while doing so. He's doing it with the government as well. 8EZN150, 7YGC774, 6NJG960. 04744B3, 7UXM399, 8LDH450. 8WZN733, 7UXA 237. XFZ667 DIA Heart 5. I'm sorry, DIAZ Heart 5. AECX 535 5RHT 964 6XDC 672. And it's currently 10:02 a.m. 8MCJ 291. That is Stalking with Light at La Crosse, Smog and Tune, located at 546 West Hope Boulevard. This is the same actor engaging in assault with a deadly weapon, threatening with the Ontario Police Department. License 8VJB571, 8YPK648, 7CST436, and this demon coming over to get in close proximity where I'm at the LA Cross, Smog and Tune. License plate 6DKS427. And again, La Crosse, Smog and Tune, let me be clear, like I documented before, they were threatening with the Ontario Police Department. This is 2019, where they engage in assault with a deadly weapon, speeding past me, which is crossing path, and threatening to hit me while I am in the crosswalk, which is a direct threat to me after the entity engaged in hitting me with a car in 2019 as I was going to serve the writ petition to the court in San Bernardino. I was hit by a car by a third party who engaged in intentional negligence, which is not negligence because you're talking about what is an unintentional lesser amount of care which you owe. This was not something with regard to some unreasonable amount of care that I am due as a pedestrian with the right-of-way, snap-on crossing path. You have what is a group stalker that intentionally turns their head the opposite direction while I'm in the crosswalk with the right-of-way while they're at a red light or a stop sign. They were intentionally looking the other way and engage in continually driving forward and hitting me with the vehicle. And this is while I was en route to serve the writ petition to the court. All right, this is the entity hitting me with the car. Now, after that occurred, the entity engaged in ongoing threats with hitting me with vehicles, including La Crosse, Smog and Tune, while I was documenting the Ontario Police Department, who were group stalking, crossing paths under the fake sun as I was right here at this same intersection. And you have what is an employee that crosses paths with me at the moment that the Ontario Police Department did, driving west on Hope Boulevard, and they speed past me while I'm in the middle of walking past on the crosswalk. All right, that's an intentional communication of a threat to do deadly harm to me, speeding past me while you are monitoring under the fake sun. Understand that's not ignorance, and that's the intent to communicate that threat. 8MPG896, using that as a method of stalking with light at the same property. And so you have what is that communication of a threat while all the elements and the hallmarks are present. You're talking about the criminal conduct and the threatening conduct of the entity that was hostile to me, documenting specifically the Ontario Police Department. Okay, including 1516926, I believe. That's Ontario Police Department. That's why they're going to federal prison. Okay, that's called conspicuous stalking. That's exactly why those demons are going. And let me be clear: the more I document them, the more you are understanding what is that threat that they pose. They are unstable. All right, psychopaths. Very, very unstable. And as they listen to me document them, they engage in more stalking activity. All right, and they have a litany of documented criminal conduct, and their condition is that of demon possession. And so these are psychopaths just waiting to be dealt with. And I am fully exposing what the criminal system that they are engaging in, and every single tally of criminal conduct, which is conspicuous stalking, and law enforcement in particular, will be dealt with accordingly. 6JZA651, as they listen to me document, that's the psychopath. They are listening to me document their criminal conduct. They're crossing paths under a fake sun. All right, crossing paths in directed light. All right, there is no legal argument, and there is no rationale for that either. 5SKJ051, they're stalking where I'm sleeping, stalking where I'm using the bathroom, monitoring, listening to me pull my panties down, engaging in kidnapping, theft of property, AEDR645, all manner of obstruction of justice. 7FBN351. All right, they are dangerous psychopaths, and as they listen to me document the fact that they too are going to be prosecuted for what was assault with a deadly weapon while they were posing that threat with La Crosse, Smog and Tune, at that property right now, who is stalking with light doing so in concert with the Ontario Police Department in 2019, 7 PLM 965. All right, the Ontario Police is not alone. Omnitransit's crossing path, Snap-on, these third parties, the City of Ontario, the state engaging in ongoing stalking by commercial airline planes, and you hear these demons crossing path in traffic. 8XFU 999, I believe. That's exactly why you're talking about federal prison. That's the way you deal with demons of law enforcement who engage in this literal criminal conduct while they're in the position of the police. I mean, just outright abuse of, and that's terrorism while criminals are vested in that position. 53155V1. That's how you end up with being kidnapped. That's how you end up with theft of property of all that someone owns, and then you're using your position, your identity as law enforcement, and you're justifying it when you don't even have any authority under the law. You're engaging in criminal conduct. 8DGX896, and that's what the Ontario Police Department have done time and time and time again, including the Sheriff's Department, including the demons of the San Bernardino County courthouses, the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, the San Bernardino Superior Court. They're criminals. All right, and I am revealing what is that pattern of conduct that's underway. The state of California is monitoring and engaging in all, which is criminal in and of itself, and then they engage in all manner of criminal conduct to conceal and obstruct and silence and oppress one who is documenting it. 84381S1. That's a demon and a tree removal specialist. Operation of his communication device in hand while he crosses path. 8PUP394. Amazon Prime crossing path in directed light as well under the fake sun. 8XXF209. 8FK8365 and Amazon Prime stalking me with a plane. 8VSH549, which I captured at 9:56 a.m. and Amazon Prime stalking in their vehicle. 7YXJ500. Alrighty, this is City of Ontario crossing in one of their ambulances, 7NIW109, 6K99661. And this is Ontario Fire 1159426, crossing path in that paramedic vehicle. All right, P.O.C. License plate, AF45Y14 paper. All right, and I want to be clear, what you're listening to, those demons of Gator Glass, you're looking at them as the fake sun is directly above them, okay? That's a psychopath. That's demon possession. 8TOG267, that's the malice with which demons monitor and stalk you. 7Y79766. 32917W1, Hadley, creating light activity and directed light reaching across the sidewalk. 8YOC918. Hadley is spelled HADLEY. And you have what is directed light spanning across the building while I'm showing you the faces of those demons at Gator Glass while the fake sun is directly over their venue. All right. And those are the ones, like I said, that not only ones, they're indicative of what is to be a policy of shipping out criminals that are not natural born citizens that are engaging in the most un-American conduct and the most life-threatening conduct of monitoring and stalking with the government. That's City of Ontario 1327395. Making a U-turn and creating light in the middle of the street, 2694583. That's Continental Towing. License 7TTS775. 7AVC150. 6Z60907. 5DTY004. 7XEX127. BT05D47 paper. It's 10:13 a.m. Alrighty, let me be clear. What I capture on video, first of all, those are demons in directed light. What you're listening to him saying, first of all, it's audible activity, and it is also the communication of a threat. Understand that's coming out of the mouth of what is the state, a group stalker, talking about as though also it's funny they're communicating a threat on behalf of the state. Oh, it's a cop. Let me be clear. Understand this. What do you have? First of all, 7T06639 license plate, directed light onto the sidewalk out, in the shade at Gator Glass where I remain. First of all, you have what is this ongoing coincidence of mentioning the police when you are engaging in that which is documentation. All right, you have what is a pattern, 7NOE073. It's a communication of a threat by an entity. All right, understand that. Second of all, you have what is doing so in direct light and under a fake sun while he is communicating that threat on behalf of the state. Like I said, the reality is that demon and everyone else, those are not American-born citizens are worthy of deportation, and they demonstrate it. They just demonstrated that. There are demons that are holding up their thumbs and dancing around with tattoos on their faces and on their necks in relevant position under a fake sun and in directed light. Okay? 50466T1. All right, they are literal psychopaths, as you see impulsive light activity sweeping across the gator glass in the shade while the fake sun is in front of me. Or you've seen that pattern of conduct over and over and over again, okay? Ontario Police license plate 1503465, engaging in a threat with gator glass. Guess who's going to be prosecuted for that? The demons of gator glass, all right? The demons of Ontario Police Department are listening to and monitoring all together. So the Ontario Police Department are stalking by virtue of crossing paths, doing so under the fake sun with knowledge of what I just documented about communicating that threat. They're stalking together. There is no summoning. The police are already stalking and monitoring together, okay? That's P.O.C. All right, license 37537Z1. Documented on video is Delta Airlines flying over, hovering over where the fake sun is. You see they're not flying over the Stater Brothers parking lot anymore. They're not hovering over the B&G Plaza. Understand the state acting like they're taking off from there, which they're not. The airport's not there. But not only that, you're looking at them continuously hovering until they get to where I'm located, where the fake sun is also located, where directed light is also located. 82153S2, 4PRS292. And in that video that I just captured at 10:18 a.m., that is Delta Airlines flying over me. While I'm in the parking lot of the Stater Brothers, that was Amazon Prime flying over me, 6EDK320, and you have what, as I documented on podcast, the Ontario Police Department 5L13400. Those are demons that are pacing in what is directed light, okay? Those are the demons affiliated with Gator Glass, 7POV, I can't really say that, 1142572. All right, and let me show you these over here. This is L&R Auto Repair. License 8FXL251. That's audible activity. License plate 53424S1, 8RRE850, 8PJD012, 8GHK865. Documenting, captured another video, and you're looking at, first of all, what is the fake sun in direct conflict with remaining anywhere over Fern Avenue. Over the car, 807-6283. You have what is the state's fake sun that is remaining over me at the intersection of Vine and Holt Boulevard after remaining over what is the Ontario Village Shopping Center, which I show you while I'm at the Miss Donuts angle, the coin laundry side facing San Antonio. When the state's fake sun is over there. And I'm contrasting that, reminding you about where I am already, first of all, in Fontana, after capturing and going in nowhere in that direction. What is the San Antonio. At that time at 8:30, I'm already at the B&G Plaza, all right? And the days before that, on the 1st, I was at 630 North Fern at 8:30 in the morning, 7 MUG 792. And yesterday, I am already headed toward what is Fontana, 8E55925, where the Sheriff's Department, the City of Ontario, 67063F3, the Ontario Fire Department, who's also crossing path into the fake sun that's remaining in Ontario, 8WRW586, and Sherwin-Williams, license 00657L2. And also doing so while 8B28591 crosses path and directed light is moving across the specific venue of Gator Glass at the intersection of Vine and Holt, where they are engaging in verbalizing a threat via mentioning, in other words, implying Ontario Police Department, who have no legal basis whatsoever. They're criminals, they're stalkers. But you're also talking about what is that ongoing pattern of communicating a threat while you document Satan, engaging in monitoring, all right? That's what that pattern is. And second of all, you have what are the demons of the Ontario Police Department who are listening and monitoring, then patrolling over and over again, all right? Visibly as that threat is communicated, and that's what I captured not only on video but on podcast. Doing so under the fake sun, which is not coexisting with remaining directly over the car at 630 North Fern, which I captured on January 1st, directly in conflict with remaining over what is the venue of what is the B&G Plaza, and then I go what is east to the city of Fontana, which I capture on video and while I'm on the bus and the state's fake sun is in movement, all right? Over the bus, remaining over me and following to Fontana like my documentation is already established, all right? 5KLD825. You have what is the state's fake sun, which is at this time remaining over the American Inn, which I do not exit on December 31st until after 11 a.m. and it remains over me at the Bank of America. While you have these demon-possessed psychopaths who are going, you're talking about what are grounds for federal prison. All right, what is engaging in what is revealing the threat that you are to the public? What is the grounds for deportation for those who are not natural-born citizens? All right, while they are engaging in what is communicating such verbal threats, and what is the ongoing threat while they're monitoring with the government and directed light is swiping across their building, the police department, which they are referencing in their verbal threats, are crossing path, monitoring with them. These brown-faced demons, by the way, doing so while directed light is sweeping across their building and the fake sun is over my head, which is impossible to coexist with remaining over the American Inn. The American Inn located at 755 North Euclid Avenue, which I fully revealed on December 31st, 2021. While these demons are throwing up thumbs up, while the demons of the Ontario Police Department are crossing paths, while the demons affiliated with Delta Airlines are flying over my head and Amazon Prime flying over my head, the demons of Continental Towing 2694583 driven by that Asian male who's group stalking at, and that's US.2530736. Directed light, just like you saw Unistar Foods doing yesterday, did the exact same thing right now. I am on the sidewalk, not in their way. He is crossing path, honking his horn as that demon that is an Asian male knows that I'm referencing him, directed light in the fake sun over me in the city of Ontario. Did the exact same thing that you saw on video with Unistar Foods yesterday at the B&G Plaza, okay? Honking their horns is audible activity in directed light while directed light moves across the asphalt. That's a demon. That is Satan, okay? And it doesn't matter what their race is. That demon in the natural is actually an Asian male. All right, license plate, Omnitrans, 1545684, bus 2350. And that's the venue that I'm on yesterday where the state was keeping its fake sun in motion while I'm on that bus going to Fontana. All right, well, you see directed light. What that is on the interior of the bus. When I'm not on the bus, just like now, Omnitrans is molesting with directed light, okay? And you have what is documenting all manner of that threat posed by Delta Airlines, posed by Continental Towing, posed by the Ontario Police Department, all of them demons alike. Those are demons flying airplanes. Those are demons driving in cars such as 7UJC 346, crossing path in that directed light, swiping across. The demons affiliated with Gator Glass at the intersection of Vine and Holt. All right, those demons showing the hooligans that they are, holding up their thumbs and showing their tattoos on their necks and their faces and on their chests while they're engaging in demonic activity. They're puppets, okay? Using their vehicles to systematically stalk with light while directed light is swiping across the building while a fake sun is over my head. And that is the direct evidence with which I will ship them out of this country if they are not American-born, natural-born citizens. Secondly, you're talking about what is grounds of federal prison. While you want to threaten with the police who are going to federal prison, you're going to find yourself there as well. And that's what that documentation is for. 6UMR724, 7LCG252. All right, you don't have any authority to engage in that. You're going to disarm that immediately. 7MVG363, a 90699X1. While all these demons are engaging in terrorism together, they're crossing path, directed light. While you're going to verbalize the threat about the police, you're going to jail. While you are an entire psychopath stalking and monitoring with a fake sun over your head. And that's why I captured that video. Okay, I'm going to prosecute them with that. All right, that's understanding Satan, the conduct of Satan, the character of Satan, and that is the dangerous psychopath. 7VPN957. And every time I'm documenting Ontario Police Department, I'm going to prosecute Gator Glass because they're monitoring with them. They're referencing the police on purpose. They're demons that are monitoring together. So Ontario Police is doing their part by then stalking conspicuously and crossing path in the same directed light under the same fake sun. 7TRC758, 05492, 8SSF409, 7GTJ. 746, I believe. I can't really see that one. And that's what you're going to remember. The environment that they're in, that is a psychopath that is under that which is not the sun. And again, this is 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that is 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, which would be 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is exclusive to remaining in Ontario. That's even exclusive to being anywhere in the city of Fontana. That's exclusive also from being anywhere over 630 North Front. It does not coexist. Let alone the sun does not remain in one city, in one county, in one state for the duration of the day, unlike what I directly documented on video for your own eyes to witness. Right, that's Union Pacific 8WGV 989. I can't believe, or 8WGV 898, excuse me. And the demons of the United States Postal Service. All right, these demons at Gator Glass are monitoring while Union Pacific is a means of audible activity creation, while they're in this cartoon environment showing the dangerous, psychotic stalkers that they are, light all over the place. All right, like fireworks with directed light. Psychopaths. All right, so we're going to hold our thumbs up in federal court. Woo! Get a hold of that one, Satan, because I'm going to prosecute you with that. All right, that's P.O.C. 3WUT761. That's how you're going to treat Satan, who is a dangerous psychopath, using third parties like that at Gator Glass. That's what you do. FOKIS, heart. That's a symbol of a heart. 6RFD201. But let me be clear. Like I said, Satan is a loser, and you're talking about in the face of knowledge that they lose. 6DMF579, engaging in more of it. This is demonstrated by Amazon Prime. They are aware of the documentation. Those demons will engage in more of the same crossing of path while they know that they are already defeated. And I'm going to prosecute them, 62381W2. There is no argument. They don't have any argument in their alternate universe where they no longer can act like they're not stalkers like they are and that they're not demon possessed. I've told their secret. Not only that, in the actual universe, in reality, under the laws that are going to be applied by them and created to handle them, they don't have a prayer, okay? Let alone God does not hear the prayer of the lawless demons. He's not listening to you. He's judging you. That's why there is one that's discerned what your condition is revealing it, and then is also going to prosecute you. 22976U2. That's what God is doing. 7NMU 256. 4TQH 8993. 4TQH 993. 8VWX 916. 5XUB 377. And Ontario Police Department, as you're listening to me, repeatedly crossing path, also crossing path on Euclid Avenue going south, 61923M2, about 45 seconds ago, 6UBK 378, which will also be on traffic cameras. They're on traffic cameras right here at Vine and Hold as well, patrolling with those demons of Gator Glass, engaging in all manner of terrorism, all right? When you play back what is documentation, which is demon proof, FJ973, you understand what is going to be federal prison for what are kidnappers and violent sex offenders, terrorizing conduct by law enforcement, providing what is also a template for understanding how law enforcement engages in what is the government system of monitoring American citizens, in the same way that Amazon Prime, Delta Airlines, even the city of Ontario, the United States Postal Service, the ways in which it is engaging, they engage in monitoring conspicuously in your face. 8TBP681. But let me be clear, this directed light nonsense, 3UJE351, 8UPD172, that is ratcheted up aggression. Let me be clear, and this is by a demonic entity that then thinks that they're just going to kidnap you and nobody's ever going to hear it. And so that's why the thousands of video documentation, images, and my podcast. This is the totality of that artillery with which you do not have any legal argument whatsoever. And the unprecedented, the unfathomable, all right, the unthinkable allegations are thereby substantiated. 22520Y1, Bell Cab reaching out to touch me. 6AGH876. United States Postal Service again, 6424076, demons. License plate 6EFD120. And like I said, I mean that 6DAU408. You literally are witnessing what is the threat posed by dangerous psychopaths that are the Ontario Police Department. Let me be clear, the actual sun is never over the Ontario Police Department, located at 2500 South Archibald Avenue, 64856B3 or 83. But I have captured it on more than one occasion, the fake sun, which is the onward demonstration of what is federal group stalking and monitoring, and demons that surround, demons that are vested in the position of the Ontario Police Department. That is why they are also crossing paths where the fake sun is over me. That's why it was over the Ontario Police Department. Those are demons, and they are very, very dangerous psychopaths. 5R43812, who are also engaging in what is revealing an obsessive concern with me, and there is no argument for it. Where you are stalking in direct light, you know exactly who I am. That is impossible light activity. It's entirely unnatural. You are a demon who is engaging in that ongoing pattern of focusing and following from city to city, from place to place, doing the same thing in helicopter. 86619S2, touching. All right, W57140, touching with the rest of these demons that are crossing paths. 5KRU400, touching, absolute psychopath. Engaging in that conduct, which is showing an unnatural obsession, which is terrorism, by absolute strangers that are in the position of law enforcement, who are entire psychopaths, stalking somebody, stalking me where I sleep, stalking wherever it is I go during the day, including right now at Gator Glass, threatening with Gator Glass. Guess what? They're both going to end up in federal prison. That's how that's going to work. American citizens documenting the government that's monitoring them. You want to threaten their liberty, you're going to lose yours. That's how that's going to work. So you want to come out of your mouth talking about you're going to jail. He's going to go to federal prison. That's what's happening. That's why you document that. Or you are disarming the government that wants to kidnap and silence those that it's monitoring. 4TDX373. It is absurd what Satan is engaged in. 7HSX 893, I believe, 8NTD113, 8NPF050, 8SAJ943, United States Postal Service, demons 0328245. All right, it is absurd what the government is engaging in. And so when you are getting to that level, you want to engage in that because Satan doesn't like that you're documenting it. Oh, well, what Satan is doing is no longer a secret. 50875K1, you better shut your face, because everything you say, guess what? That's going to be the commensurate response. You want to threaten my liberty, you're going to lose yours. You're going to federal prison. You want to defame, you're going to end up in a mental ward because you are already a dangerous psychopath who is demon possessed. That's your condition. AP109995. 3VCK151, monitoring with the Ontario Fire Department, who's sounding sirens in direct light under a fake sun. 8A31773, 8TRX529, 8Z96001. They're all monitoring with the state that's creating light activity via the fire department. This is P.O.C. All right, the Ontario Fire Department monitoring with gator glass. All right, engaging in stalking with the United States Postal Service, 7GDC 579, using their sirens and lights, which is light activity, audible activity, 8XMN318. It is also facilitating that life-threatening criminal system where they are violating Title 18, Section 2261A, subsections 1 and 2, and doing so under the fake sun at 10:38 a.m., which is right over me. Okay, that's revealing what is the targeting conduct of demons in all of those aforesaid positions. License 8ETS 831. Directed light while they drive by in the shade. Okay, license plate. It's 10:39 a.m. where the state is hovering now over these apartments at Vine and Holt and Prime Air, Amazon Prime. License plate 8JBP 475. Directed light while they cross path. Understand the concerted conduct. Audible activity from the plane, audible activity from that loud vehicle, directed light toward the passenger side while that demon drives by in that license plate, directed light toward me, okay? You've seen that, for example, with UPS. You've seen that example with USPS, with Amazon Prime. I've documented all of these commercial actors who attack me and molest me with directed light while they're stalking. 8NMS 852, and all of the thousands of third-party group stalkers where I've documented the same. They're all doing the same thing. They're demons. That's why. All right. And where you have what is absolutely impossible light activity, it is that which is peculiar. And it is so peculiar, it is a very specific signature, 5SXV845. And providing that documentation of what is the terrorism that the Ontario Police Department like to engage in while they're wearing those uniforms, they're going to lose those uniforms and their freedom. 7HMH287. And let me be clear, they need to be restrained. 8CBC 753, they are dangerous psychopaths. 8H35960. You disband such agencies that are engaging in lawlessness. 7UQW958, you're talking about a matter of public corruption, rampant public corruption. USPS again, license 6424084, touching. 8VWH798. Demons that can't help themselves, want to touch, be sex offender, 0336569, and it's so sad. The more you document them, the more they demonstrate that demon possession and patrol by even more. The USPS, the same demons providing a vehicle at 10 o'clock at night, after 10 o'clock at night, by the way, while a demon was running around me, crossing path with a flashlight, that's stalking with light in the same way where USPS is crossing path right now in the shade while the fake sun is over me and direct light is reaching out toward me while they're touching. And they're demons stalking with light. 8S06057. And that is also showing what is an entire psychopath, okay? And the more I mention USPS, the more demons come and cross path with me. Understand, this is spiritual. And they're dangerous psychopaths. Psychopaths that are using nothing other than people who are vested in that position as the United States Postal Service. And this is an ongoing criminal system that has been revealed. It's not a secret anymore. And their condition is one that is terrorizing while they're stalking and molesting. They're sex offenders that like to stalk me where I'm sleeping at. That's why USPS is stalking right now with a fake sun over me in the city of Ontario. And also doing so where the same exact demon-possessed entity knows where I'm sleeping. Running around like the psychopaths that they are. They're demons with flashlights in the middle of the night delivering what's supposed to be mail after 10:15. In the night. And guess what else I documented? What was that state that is a stalker, a demon-possessed stalker flying in circles over me in helicopter while the United States Postal Service goes out of its way to engage in that stalking conduct, entirely disturbing. All right, they're dangerous psychopaths, and that condition is shared by the Ontario Police Department. All right, psychopaths who have no position in that who have no business in those positions. All right, they're sex offenders, including 08407Y2. That's a large yellow truck. Directed light repeatedly coming toward me while they cross path. Focused on me. They're all demons. 8B55891. They're all hell-bound, inferior, demon-possessed stalkers that I have under my feet, and I'm going to drag them in court. You already know what directed light is. You know what crossing path is. You know what the fake sun is. That's exactly what they're doing. 7BAR487, 7VSG076, 8KOV039, 7EIV497. That's exactly what they're doing. And while the United States Postal Service wants to engage in crossing path 9 and 10 times in different vehicles, while the state also communicates a threat with the fire department, with the paramedics of the Ontario Fire Department, with Delta Airlines and Amazon Prime over my head, you have what is engaging in all manner of terrorism together. They're demons in different capacities. They maintain the same status, those as third parties, those as the state acting directly. The United States Postal Service, by the way, is the state acting directly. The government is monitoring you through the postal man. Okay, let me be clear on that. 10:43 a.m. Alrighty, I did want to stop and get video because what I showed you on video are the demons of the United States Postal Service and the Ontario Police Department, both of whom I'm speaking about, reminding you about the illustrations of what I've already documented. First of all, their demon possession, their obsessive stalking conduct that is born of that demon possession. This is satanic, and this is why there is that obsession with me. You're talking about the United States Postal Service stalking in directed light, also where I sleep, running all around and with a flashlight in the middle of the night, delivering mail at 10:15 at night, okay, on Christmas Eve. You're talking about what is the entity engaging in that stalking and conduct while the state is flying over me in a helicopter. The Ontario Police Department engaging in a litany of that same exact conduct as I have documented in directed light. I have so much documentation of the dangerous psychopaths of that dangerous psychopath. Understand, they're demons. They are demon-possessed police officers. They are demons in the same way that that third party, every single last one that I'm documenting, this is a demonic system in California, 7GJD799, a demon, all right? Your only difference is you're talking about a demon that's driving a police vehicle. That's a demon that is a threat to the public, okay? And even more threat than the third party whose license plate I just recited, because the third party represents an entity vicariously acting on behalf of the government. All of them are demons together targeting one person. Terrorism. Engaging in demented conduct, stalking together, terrorism, ARML 919, doing so in a cartoon-like environment, okay? Showing the freaks that they are, all together, stalking somebody, stalking me. That's exactly what you are doing under a fake sun. That's why you're maintaining a fake sun over me. AJJG226, AJGA237. That's why they want to touch me so much and molest me so much and follow me around and follow me into bathrooms and follow me wherever it is that I sleep. All right, license plate 8MDH905. And so you have on video what I captured because I want you to see it, because I'm gonna play that back in federal court. You're talking about the kidnappers, the thieves, the sex offenders that are listening to every word that I say. They're obsessed stalkers. AZ565 that has no way of ever demonstrating the actual sun is over the property of 2500 South Archibald Avenue, the very police department where those demons are affiliated with. All right, the actual sun's not over there. All right, and that was captured in August of 2021. And you're talking about what was 11:44 Pacific Standard Time, and that's supposed to be the actual sun, which would have been 1:44 11:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 1:44 p.m. Central Standard Time, and what would be 2:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's not the sun, and they cannot demonstrate that. There is no way to demonstrate it. And there's also the ongoing direct evidence that continues to exist with regard to stalking with the fake sun. And it went right to that venue where I documented the Ontario Police Department as it continues, and it reveals what is an entire comprehensive system, which is entirely demonic. You have demons that are working for companies, demons that are driving their own vehicles, demons that are in public, demons whose name you know, demons whose name you don't know, which you don't have to know because they represent the government. And the government engaging in pacing all around, pacing in video by the Ontario Police Department and again by the United States Postal Service, who are listening to me speak about the fact that they're obsessed stalkers of demon possession, monitoring American citizens. That's intentional conduct that I capture on video. They're demons that are acting together. So while Satan is listening to me, in other words, speak about them, you have them come out and conspicuously engage in that stalking activity. All right, those are the, understand, that's the demon at Gator Glass going, woo! Like he's excited about the fact that I just documented him and very damning evidence with which I'm going to prosecute them. That's the conduct of Satan, though. 7KPH733. They don't have any legal argument. The Ontario Police Department are not happy, and it was never intended that it would be revealed that they are entirely psychotic. All right, they're demon-possessed stalkers monitoring American citizens, doing so with black-faced American citizens, brown and white-faced American citizens. It doesn't matter what your race is. They're demons that are monitoring together, monitoring specific targeted American citizens. And I am documenting that. I'm revealing that. I've already demonstrated it. All right. 8CIF 839. So while those demons are pacing around me, the state's fake sun is right over my head in the city of Ontario at the intersection of Vine and Holt Boulevard, where I am showing you I still remain at what is American Inn on December 31st. I still remain at 630 North Front in the car on January 1st, 2022. All right. On January 2nd, 2022, where am I? I am en route to what is Fontana, going to Upland. I'm going to the 10 freeway. The state's keeping its fake sun right here where I'm at right now. Okay. And this is while those demons of the Ontario Police Department, they literally document themselves. Satan is defeated and Satan is pathetic. Satan is engaging in terrorism, though, using the police department, they're puppets. Using the United States Postal Service, they're puppets. All right, and they're engaging in terrorism, terrorizing one that's going to put them in federal prison, 6 SOE 476, because both of those actors like to engage in terrorism under the fake sun, molest with directed light, and do so while the state flies over me in a helicopter. That's not exclusive. The people of the state do the exact same thing. I'm talking about the state acting directly, and this is the significance of what I just captured on video. All right, while the state's fake sun is right here over me at Vine and Holt Boulevard, 8CLN 691. Okay, and you need to understand the obsessive stalking while demons are just sitting around at the bus stop, driving by, standing around at the businesses, using whatever they have, bringing a vendor. That's what Continental Towing was doing. They're stalking in the path, and that's why they're honking their horn when nobody's in their way. I'm not in their way, and directed light is on the ground. That's why the directed light is on the ground when the fire department is crossing path, while they're doing so all under the fake sun that's remaining over me, okay? They're demons. They're demons, including Coca-Cola 4MK. 2725, I believe. That's Coca-Cola engaging in crossing a path and directed light across the passenger side of the truck on the ground toward me. In other words, focused on me, while the fake sun is right here at Vine and Holt. All right, you got a demon that's just monitoring at the bus stop, okay? He's stalking in the path. All right, this is doing what all of the third parties are doing. They're entirely focused on you, and that's the case. That's the situation. That's the scenario, and that's the breakdown, and that's all that you're doing where directed light and a fake sun is concerned. Okay, that is the P.O.C, and this is a demon that's engaging in monitoring at bus stop number 5810. All right, loitering in relevant position while that directed light that I'm documenting, patrolling by the United States Postal Service, patrolling by the Ontario Police Department, monitoring by the demons who are touching with directed light, including Omnitrends, including Coca-Cola. All right, you're talking about the third parties while they're crossing path and touching me. You've got demons like that stalking the path on their communication devices, monitoring to that. Focused on me. They're not doing anything. Getting on the bus, guess what? The bus is a venue. That's why the state kept its fake sun on me. They're monitoring together. All right, you have what is license 7NBY406, 7DZJ088, 8K10599, 6UCD124, Covenant Transport 31872. Can't see the rest of it. 6XXB807, 1261499 is another United States Postal Service. Frontier Communications crossing path again. 8DNT049. And I did capture that demon's images. You see relevant positioning at bus stop 5810, and directed light is continuously occurring while demons are crossing path, because that's their condition, and that's exactly why I refer to them. These are stalkers. You're stalking in the path. They're stalking with light. All right, that's what you're doing with spotlights. That's what you're doing with flashlights. That's what you're doing with building lights. That's what you're doing with signage. That's what you're doing with your headlights. That's what you're doing with hazard lights. All right, that's what the entity is doing, stalking with light. It's entirely demonic. This is how Satan is engaging in ritualistic targeting. And it's centered on what is monitoring. The interstate stalking is what they're engaging. They're monitoring using communication devices. 7DNA979. United States Postal Service crossing path again, now going west again. 7PTZ537. 4ETL257, 7DAP664, 7ZHY821, driving east and west, directed light coming toward me, by the way, 4VQY181. And not that any direction that they're driving is going to result in directed light. Directed light is absolutely made up, engineered light. It's artificially engineered. This is not normal light. That's what I mean by made up. It's not normal light. All right, and also, as you've already seen, that is not the sun. All right, and also that is also not going to occur. You also know that not only is that not the sun, that's not also going to occur when you're driving in the shade. So where's the light coming from? They're demons. Okay, this is demonic, and they're stalking. They're focused on me. I am their wholehearted focus. 48935X2, 7LUT041, 6VGZ908. And that includes the demons of the fire department. And isn't that pathetic? All right, you have what you would assume is an important job, and they are demons. And understand, they're inferior, and that's why you have an entire focus of me, an entire people focused on me. All right, they are all of that inferior condition, though. They are demons. They are hell-bound. These are literally walking around. You're witnessing what are the living dead, okay? They were sitting in position in their vehicles today at the B&G Plaza. I'm sorry, at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, as I showed you the fake sun over me. And I'm taking pictures of just one demon after another, just sitting in their car, stalking in the path. They're literally the living dead, all right? License 6KSR 375 31686N2. N565844, out of state, 7GTF250, 5RTN895, 45253, I can't really see that one, All right, and you have what is directed light reaching all the way across the street. That's how focused they are. And that's going to be the prosecution of the people because they're terrorists. And they're violent sex offenders. That's how you're going to prosecute that as well. License 8XDF692. And while demons stalk in the past, such as at Lupe's Auto Repair, doing the same thing that this demon was doing over here at bus stop 5810, they're maintaining presence in the past, 6UVX091. Surveillance. Okay, while the directed light of the fake sun is all over the place, they maintain presence all around on their communication devices, monitoring. 7XDP214. That's third party facilitating venue, Lupe's Auto Repair, 400 East Holt Boulevard. All right, that's all that they're doing. Maintaining presence all around. And so you have what is absolutely no form. It's 10:56 a.m. The state's fake sun is over me. Satan can keep his back to me all he wants while he's stalking in the path at Lupe's Auto Repair, in operation of a communication device, monitoring with this demon at the bus stop who knows I took a picture of him. All right, he could put his phone in his pocket. He's still stalking in the path. But that's what he's doing. While I'm being molested with directed light, fake sun over my head, OPD, United States Postal Service, all these demons molesting with directed light, they're monitoring. ADQA 943, 49880P2. AU34, U39, 485, 4369, 4GMK901, T769RO, 7EQG479, all of them are demons. 8UBK583. That's why you have, first of all, it is entirely impossible light activity for that to be occurring with every single last one. This is what I'm telling you. There is no exception. All right? There is no outlier. It doesn't exist. 90191V2. All of them are demon possessed, and all of them are stalking. All of them know exactly where I'm at and what I'm saying. 8CLT308. And you are talking about what is an expansive stalking system by the demon possessed in the state of California. Expansive. And now this has implications for the rest of the country. All right, and if you did not know that demonic activity was so prevalent and was so relevant to what's going on in your life, you need to know. Okay, Satan is around every single last day. 7XMC443. You are not identified by being some psychopath by virtue of engaging in some axe murder. Okay, that's not what being a psychopath is necessarily. Okay, you are talking about what is the conduct of what is essentially a con man, knowledge of right and wrong, engaging in desperate determination to engage in that which you know is right and wrong, and engaging in that while continuously seeking to 8ULD979, 4URA372, 7531648, USPS 7RNY839, 33438N2, 8HZF649. I'm glad they're so concerned about me. They are concerned. They are so concerned. That's why you got about 12 patrolling by and specifically identifying USPS. All right, they are so concerned about me. True Blue Logistics. A demon, 9E87267, US.387474, coming around to touch. All right, that's a predator. Coming around to touch, 8SJX175. You have Route 61 Omnitrans is coming. It's currently 10:58 a.m. 8JFZ521, USPS 0320-178, touching. Very concerned about me. 8H59391. And it's 10:58 a.m. All right, that demon who I captured on picture gets on bus 1222 at 10:58 a.m. While he's monitoring, everybody on that bus is monitoring as well. The directed light is speaking to an ongoing P.O.C. That doesn't stop. It's never occurring naturally anyway. License 1234515. That's Omnitrans. Referencing the cameras as well. I'm on the cameras and I'm referencing it. P.O.C. It is, again, 10:59 a.m. Want to be clear, what I was speaking to is they are very, very concerned about me, and they're predators that like to touch, all right? They are reaching out and stalking and targeting and monitoring one who is superior to them. Demons are inferior creatures, all right? That's why there are so many of them, all right? But it doesn't matter what the numerosity is. It matters as far as the prosecution. 7XYU485, because you're going to flip that on its head and prosecute them with it. 8FEZ741. Demons are cockroaches. 6A45930. Cockroaches are, thousands of them born at a single time. That's what demons are. That's exactly what demonic activity is like. They are analogous to cockroaches. 80221Y2. Tons of them all over the place, okay? And you're talking about understanding the reality of the demon possessed. All right, there are many, many, many of them. All right, you're not looking at what is hovering over the ground, having smoke coming out of their ears, engaging in speaking some weird foreign language, revealing their some spiritual reality. 8AGY184. No. It's right in your face. It's in everyday life. So you're talking about what is a criminal system that's in operation amongst the demon possessed. All right, and it just so happens to be that which is operated by the government. 8WWF578. 1403764. Hilarious. Crime scene unit engaging in criminal conduct while they're crossing paths in directed light. That's that license plate. All right, that's what that vehicle says. Crime scene unit while they're engaging in criminal conduct. Demons engaging in criminal conduct affiliated with law enforcement. License 37005H2. ENGRCIA 6VO5557 00342J3 7L03493 7BCG332, I believe, and OPD crossing path again. Oh no, Rialto Police Department honking their horn while they cross path and then turning onto Vine Avenue on traffic cameras at 11:01 a.m. 6NBZ271. That was Rialto Police Department crossing path at 11:01 a.m., driving west on Hope Boulevard and then driving what is south onto Vine, on doing so on traffic cameras. That is Rialto PD going out of their way to engage in the pattern of conduct. License 5YLZ283, I believe, going out of their way to come and participate in this ritualistic stalking conduct by demons. All right, Satan wants to participate. Let me go out of my way and go cross path. This is criminal conduct that I've identified the pattern for purposes of monitoring interstate stalking. But understand this maintains a ritualistic significance to the demon possessed. 8FCW, I can't see the rest of that one. 8MKY367. All right, and Rialto Police crossing path in the exact same directed light. Rialto Police Department crossing path under the exact same fake sun that is remaining in the city of Ontario, by the way. It's not in the city of Rialto, contrary to what I was subject to. The sun was remaining over me while I lived in Ontario, while I was traveling to and through Ontario. The state was moving a fake sun over me. All right, you have what is, again, to the exclusion of the Rialto, the city of Rialto. The state's keeping its fake sun in the city of Ontario, specifically over this apartment building where I'm at this specific intersection, while the Rialto Police Department are going out of their way to cross paths with me and monitor and stop. 529RZ 7FKN518, and it is the Rialto Police Department. Is a black and white SUV, and the logo for the Rialto Police, it's like blue and white. That's what I just saw right now. So I just want to be clear. I documented that. I don't have to make up anything. And they were monitoring, as I documented, engaging in kidnapping with Lisa Rogan on February 18th, 2019. Excuse me. 2020. No, 2019. They engaged in more than one, they being the entity engaged in kidnapping on more than one occasion. Okay. You have, what is the Ontario PD crossing path again? All right. They're demons of different agencies. It doesn't matter what agency they're demons. All right. You're slicing it down as far as their status, as far as the locale. But you're talking about a demonic system in operation in whatever county. All right, I've documented San Bernardino County. I've documented Los Angeles County. And the demons in San Bernardino County affiliated with the Ontario Police Department, where the actual sun is not over 2500 South Archibald. That demon is crossing path 1591672, vehicle 1031, and directed light across the ground on the passenger side of the vehicle. That demon is focused on me and is listening to every word, while the fake sun remains over at 11:03 a.m. All right, remember at 11 o'clock yesterday, I'm at the Arco in Upland. All right, and the state's fake sun is right here at the same position where I'm at. 5XPM 375, 5VDX 523. Excuse me, not yesterday, but that was the second. Excuse me. And this is where United States and the Rialto Police Department and the Ontario Police Department, the Ontario Fire Department are crossing path and touching. 6424076, touching. Stalking and touching. They're demons. And you prosecute that as what it is, stalking while touching, a sex offender. The same sex offender that likes to also chase into bathrooms. License 8ETS831, 5WCG303, BS 96C51, paper 7EGV331. Showing you video of the state's fake sun right over me while a group stalker is maintaining positioning by focusing on a trash can while directed light and a fake sun is right over my head. And at 11 o'clock, as I showed you on the second in video, where the state's fake sun is right over my head at that Arco in the city of Upland, all right, where then I get on the 10 freeway and I'm showing you what is Southwest American Airlines Amazon Prime crossing path at the Cherry Avenue and the Valley Boulevard exits, nowhere near comparison, ever coexisting, while the state is maintaining that central presence. It's a fake sun. That is speaking to what the Rialto Police Department are intentionally engaging in. what the United States Postal Service are engaging in, what the Ontario Police Department are engaging, going out of their way to come around and stalk me. That's Satan focusing on me. Suzanne's Flowers, which knows that I documented them at their facilitating venue where the state kept its fake sun over me while I was in Upland, walking north from the Walmart at 1333 North Mountain Avenue on December 8th after 10 a.m. Whereas at this time, 11:07 a.m., I'm walking north up Euclid Avenue. Again, Suzanne's Flowers, bringing to bear what is documentation of what is their facilitating venue while the state kept its fake sun over me as I walk north in the city of Upland. And you have what is the state's fake sun in direct contrast with that. That's December 8, 2021. It is still the same cumulative documentation. I'm at Vine and Hall, and the state's fake sun is hovering over me. That documentation is published already. Suzanne's Flowers touching, engaging in the conduct of a sex offender while they're stalking and monitoring. 32423W1. 50533J2. And that is also the fake sun that's over me while the Rialto Police Department stalking, driving west on Holt, turning south on Vine Avenue, as I documented on my podcast at that moment and that time that I stated. Ontario Police Department intentionally and repeatedly engaging in patrolling their demons that are pacing back and forth, absolute psychopaths. Also psychopaths because they're stalking somebody, focused on me, all right? And doing so in the position of what is law enforcement, AWBA 885. You think they will have something important to do. Let me be clear. They're not. They're focused on me. Their entire defeated and futile existence as demon-possessed stalkers is on me. That's why fake sun is over me. 392TR handicap. That's exactly why directed light is present while these demons are patrolling. This is the reality of what demons are doing. All right, they're patrolling as one entity repeatedly. While the fake sun is over me, it is not coexisting with being over the Arco, over the hood, right over the vehicle over me in the city of Upland, nor remaining over my head while I'm walking north of Mountain Avenue in the city of Upland after coming from Walmart, which I showed you at 10 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot. I showed you as I remain at the intersection of Mountain and 5th Street, where AMR is stalking in front with directed light streaming across the curb. This is about 8:37 in the morning, in the same way that the city of Ontario was doing yesterday while I'm on the Omnitrans bus, driving in front of that bus with directed light streaming across the street, touching along the curb, stalking where I'm going to the city of Fontana, where, again, in conflict with that, even yesterday, the state's fake sun is remaining in Ontario. That is the ongoing documentation of what the entity is engaged in. The city of Ontario, crossing path again and touching, 1602154, doing so under a fake sun, okay? And the Ontario Police Department, crossing path and repeatedly touching. All right, they are obsessed psychos, and there are violent sex offenders who don't only want to stalk me, they want to touch all over me. Okay, you're going to prosecute those demented stalking psychopaths, because that's exactly what they are. While they are puppets of Satan, showing them to be the demented psychopaths that they are. They're puppets. All right, literally engaging in what is conduct in a cartoon environment, revealing the threat that they are, because they are such dangerous psychopaths, operating just totally unbalanced and unnatural and unfathomable, weird, creepy conduct while they're stalking altogether. That's the conduct of Satan. All right, 5WLZ953. And this is raw and unadulterated documentation of that conduct that they're engaging in, which is no longer it ain't no secret. It's out on Front Street. 7PSV924, V727ZP, that's Utah. SD's crossing path with directed light again. U598738 is the back license plate on that SD's large truck. All right, you have what is, again, it is 11:10 a.m. The demons on Hope Boulevard creating ongoing light activity, repeatedly using hazard lights in relevant position. I wanted you to see that video that I captured at 11:06. I'm sorry, it's approximately like 11:04. And again, that is the same time you're looking at the video. As I am facing what is south, showing you the fake sun, while I'm at the intersection of Vine and Holt, 7WNT057. You're going to remember where I was yesterday, while I'm at the Arco at 11 o'clock in the morning. And you're talking, I'm sorry. I don't believe that's not yesterday. First of all, you're talking about what is, the second is what I'm referencing, first of all. 8WDS576. I'm referencing January 2nd, 2022. And where I am at the Arco gas station in the city of Upland, if I recollect correctly, and you're talking about what is, while I'm at that Upland gas station, I am facing what is east, okay? At the gas station, which is facing the street of Euclid Avenue. L147MO. While I'm standing here at this intersection of Vine and Holt, and these demons are stalking me, molesting and stalking with directed light under the fake sun that's right over my head, as I show you that video of the environment that they're stalking in, 8DTB337, 18875U2, 31733G2 McCarthy Crossing Path, and also stalking at the Ovid Family Community Library, where the state at this time also keeps a fake son over the 280 North Limit Apartments. All right. Like I said, you have what is understanding that, which is mutually exclusive. My back is toward the direction of what would be the Ovid Family Community Library, as I show you the fake sun over these apartments right here. It is also that which is directly over the apartment buildings and in no way over the sky space in Upland, over that Arco, anywhere over in the city of Upland. And that is by virtue of the fact that the government is stalking with a fake sun. That's to the exclusion of everyone else. All right. And that is how you know demons are surrounding and demons are stalking. Right. And they're not only stalking, they're touching. And these demons are affiliated with the United States Postal Service, with the fire department, with law enforcement, who also have engaged in ongoing repeated acts of kidnapping. 8CGF 922 while they're stalking you. 6EZK 362. That is going to what is federal prison. Understand that. 8SWE 279. You're talking about federal prison when you kidnap, period. Well, federal group stalking and monitoring is anyway, but you're talking about what is even, it's collateral to that. You're not just engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring while you're stalking. You're engaging in stalking while you're, by the nature of the crime of monitoring, you're listening to every syllable. You're an obsessed stalker. You are a demon-possessed stalker who is a violent sex offender, chasing into bathrooms, following me to where it is that I sleep, all right, following everywhere and remaining everywhere it is that I go. And then you have what is then stealing property, trying to oppress and obstruct justice, engaging in evasion of service of process because you're trying to silence and oppress and obstruct justice, and then engaging in what is kidnapping repeatedly while then trying to falsely defame. And you are entirely a psychopath, a stalker as an entity. That's Satan. Understand that. That's Satan in operation. Absolute evil and criminal conduct together. 6EVX 265. That's why they're going to federal prison. 89881U1. And understand, it's not individualized. I'm identifying a license plate. It is not individualized. This is indicative of the agency. Understand, this is entity conduct. This is group conduct. There are demons together. That's why every single last one of them, supposedly strangers, have the same specific signature of directed light. You've seen this in hundreds of videos. That's why a fake sun is over my head. It is shared by a group. All right, these are demons. And those demons of the Ontario Police Department, every single last one of them engaging in stalking on behalf of and in concert with the people and the government that's monitoring American citizens in the state of California. You have what is engaging in that conduct with knowledge of the fact that you're being documented. That's an unlawful threat. And then you're touching the person with an instrument of criminal conduct to continue engaging in that unlawful conduct while you're in the position of law enforcement that has also engaged in repeated acts of kidnapping and theft of property. All right, while you together and sought to evade service of process. P.O.C. All right, so it is currently 11:14 a.m. So you have what is the understanding and seeing, witnessing for yourself the ongoing grounds of how you're going to treat law enforcement engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, as you understand the pattern of conduct, as you understand the unlawful intent to threaten, to continue. This is a demonic obsession, and you are talking about what is the absolute strict liability basis for what is dealing with law enforcement. Essentially, the P.O.C. is underway. Law enforcement is monitoring. They have no business, first of all, engaging in stalking, doing so as law enforcement, and then doing so as an agency. It's not just the police, period, are group stalking you. That's terrorism. 49304G3. And they're doing it as an agency. So they're engaging, in other words, teamwork to keep you surrounded as police. That in and of itself, first of all, it's entirely demented. Okay, you're talking about what is darkness that reigns over law enforcement as I'm revealing it. These are dark actors, absolutely demented in their conduct. All right, absolutely demented in their intentions and their motives. And it is revealed by their objective conduct that I have documented. They're doing so under a fake sun. RFC wire forms 98412C3. Touching while they're stalking. A specific signature, 8F02091. The same thing where the Ontario Police Department cross path. It is not different. All right, license 7HPM348. They're all crossing paths under a fake sun that's remaining over this apartment building in the city of Ontario. And let me be clear, even as I stay in Ontario, the state kept its fake sun over the car at 630 North Fern all day, which I showed you up until 4:27 p.m., which is under no circumstances the actual sun. How would Atlanta, Georgia, the state of Georgia, anywhere in Georgia, for example, have the sun over them? There's only one sun, okay? There's only one. That's how it's exclusive. And not only that, it's also exclusive by virtue of the fact of understanding directed light. And understand, it's not hard to understand directed light. Directed light is absolutely engineered light. It's not normal light. I've shown you every which way you can see that and witness that by virtue of the existence of directed light. That is exclusive. It's exclusive. 8 a.m. 358. And while these demons are driving by in commercial vehicles, driving by in their own vehicles, driving by in law enforcement vehicles, driving by in vehicles attributed to the municipality, 6 KRF 577. Your San Bernardino County crossing path going east on Hall and then turning south onto Vine. 8 PPL 080, and doing so in what is a white SUV for San Bernardino County. Rider crossing path going west on Holt Boulevard, on traffic cameras, same intersection at Vine. It's 11:17 a.m. P91 AWA. All right, you're talking about what is ongoing obsession by the demon possessed. Obsessed with one that is documenting it, and you're going to use that, and it is very powerful evidence of prosecuting not only the government, but the people of the state who do not have any sort of legal argument. Understand, there is no legal argument where there was never any defense intended, nor is there any defense possible. There is no defense for stalking and terrorizing by police, helicopters, by airplanes, and by an entire people. There's no defense for that. 6FQB472. And that's exactly what the evidence reveals. There's no defense for that, but let me be clear. The pattern of conduct, the state system was never intended to have any, there was never any forethought about having some defense. The only defense is criminal defamation. That's not a defense though. That's the pattern of conduct. Oh, there is no defense that you can say, we're just going to claim that she's crazy. I don't know her. That's what these psychopaths do. All right, so sitting there focusing on the trash can while directed light is moving all across. This is what I'm showing you with Gator Glass, sitting there engaging in, holding their thumbs up like they're excited that they're being documented while directed light is moving all across the building and the fake sun is over their head, okay? All right, you're talking about some particularly obnoxious third parties as I documented them. I'm going to use the words of Satan against them. 1845086. All right, they are the words of Satan, but guess what? With regard to the legal context, those are the words of the state. Those are the words of the state. While the state is then visibly, conspicuously stalking, all right? That's a communication of a concerted threat. They're monitoring together. There's no legal argument for that. What they're doing is already revealed. They're both under the fake sun. Ontario PD is not coincidentally crossing path. They're stalking in directed light under a fake sun while all manner of that terrorizing conduct is underway. All right, in direct conflict with being under the actual sun, in conformity to a long documented pattern of conduct, though. All right, and so you're looking at what is the conduct of demons, what they're doing in that deliberately maintained environment around me. Everything that's coming out of the mouth of Satan, which is the mouth of the state, of a third-party group stalker who is demon-possessed, all right, who is not really excited about being documented. Understand, that's just the false sense of arrogance by a defeated actor that is demon-possessed, an absolute psychopath. And that's translating into what is the threat posed by the entity. 15425J3. Terrorizing with light, demon. 0499OX2 Armada towing, demon. 5CWW 624, demon. License JC1 I can't see the rest of that one. License, what is that? Tang Transportation Incorporated, Eastvale, California. 4MD7889, I believe, or 7899. While directed light is all across United States Postal Service group stalking at the red light at the intersection. They're demons that are monitoring together. All right, absolute psychopaths. Okay, United States Postal Service cannot get enough of me, but I do not want it. Okay, you're talking about what is a demonic obsession following every single place, and that's the revealing of their secret. They're absolute obsessed stalkers, and that was never supposed to be known. And that's the reality of what their condition is and what they are doing. Okay, and so you're talking about having the ability to reveal that, and you're understanding that through the environment and through the unnatural, abnormal environment that it is. You're understanding what is the psychopath while they're acting like they're doing something else. They're not acting like they're doing nothing else. They're acting like exactly what they are. They're acting like stalkers. That's why directed light is coexisting with their driving by. And you're not even driving by under the actual sun. And the actual sun is not hovering over buildings above my head everywhere that I go. And the actual sun is also not recreating any sort of light that's going to move across like a laser across my person and across buildings. It's towing, crossing path. That's not sunlight. They're acting like the stalkers that they are. And it's towing, touching while they're in the far right lane on traffic camera right now at 11:21 a.m. Directed light streaming all the way across the street. Okay, that's DHS towing. I'm going to prosecute them. They have specifically been documented engaging in sexually molesting me on more than one occasion. They are going out of their way, reaching across the street. They're going out of their way while they drive in the lane right next to me to touch. But you're talking about being on the opposite side of the street in the far right lane, driving by and directly like reaching all the way across through the shade to touch me while I'm sitting on the bus bench at bus stop number 5810. That is the demonic obsession. Okay, 7EKL416, and that's the conduct by the government, the sex offender. All right, that's the comment by, the conduct by the entity that is acting in concert with the Ontario Police Department. Black-faced demon-possessed stalkers, brown-faced demon-possessed stalkers. You're talking about white-faced demon-possessed stalkers. It doesn't matter what their race is. These are sick, infected people with demon possession. 6KJT404. And that terrorism is conducted by virtue of that environment. That terrorism is conducted by virtue of what are psychopaths who don't have any veil. There is no guise under which you're stalking. You're shown as the stalker that you are. You're shown as the stalker that you are, while light that's coming, inexplicable lights just appearing all over the ground and all around me. You're shown as the stalker and the psychopath and the threat to the public, to society that you are. Okay? It is 11:22 a.m. Here comes another Omnitrans bus. And while under the fake sun that's remaining over the apartment building where I remain at Vine and Hall Boulevard. And this is P.O.C. Okay. That's license 12345201216 and directed light across the ground while they are driving in the shade, crossing path on Vine Avenue. But even driving underneath the state's fake sun, you're talking about what is engineered lights, not sunlight. 2364983, the same exact conduct. 6UMH212, directed light. 59596F1. P.O.C. Omnitrans going westbound, directed light, reaching across the street toward me. Now understand what Omnitrans is doing. If I were standing on the opposite side of the street, directed light would be going not toward the driver's side of the bus toward me on the opposite side of the street. It would be on the sidewalk toward the passenger side, because Omnitrans is focused on me. The directed light is speaking to the focus. The directed light is speaking to the one that you are stalking. And that's me. That's what Omnitrans is doing. That's what United States Postal Service is doing. That's why the directed light is going the direction that it's going. All right. It's currently, by the way, 11:23. 6424082, crossing path again with another United States Postal Service. That's the vehicle number, because the United States Postal Service do not bear any license plates on their vehicles. All right, you're understanding what is the grounds of that violent sex offense. That is federal group stalking and monitoring. And this is documentation revealing what's going to be the prosecution of the state acting directly. The United States Postal Service, they're sex offenders, and that's exactly how I'm going to prosecute them. They're also engaged in kidnapping. NTW, National 19809H2. I can't see the rest of that logo, but that's the license plate of that. Looks like there's some sort of mail courier or package carrier. That's indicated by the logo. They are a demon-possessed stalker. That's a demon that's doing nothing but driving a commercial vehicle, associating thereby that company, that logo, with that prosecution as a sex offender engaging in monitoring American citizens and doing so maliciously on behalf of the government. 5CVS 604. So you're talking about understanding what is the prosecution of the government being prosecuted as the sex offenders that they are. And that's what United States Postal Service and these commercial actors are engaging in. As I'm reciting and documenting over and over again, the people of the state, that's handled, all right? They're one entity. They're just a bunch of cockroaches. They're the people of the state. They're cockroaches of the government repeatedly crossing path, all right? Commercial actors, understand that's another facet of the system. The government engaging in commercial stalking. 03249T1, the government acting through municipalities, all right, the cockroaches of the city, all right, of the county, all right. You have what is the United States Postal Service, which they take an oath. That's the federal government engaging in sexual violence. That's going to be their prosecution as well. 1420228 Ontario Fire, the same exact directed light under the same exact fake sun. I want to be clear, that's what I'm documenting, and that's exactly how they're going to be prosecuted. In addition to, let me be clear, the Sheriff Department is crossing path right now, and they're in doing so, understand, the demons cross path based on what they are listening to me say as well. In the same way they engage in sexual violence, they enter into the bathroom while they know your panties are down. Like they'll wait for you to pull, I'll wait for me to pull my panties down, and then they'll bust in the door, okay? Or this is everything that the demons do are centered on what I do. That's going to their prosecution. You're understanding the malicious motive. You're understanding the dangerous psychopath. PACEME. I'm going to prosecute you. I'm not going to pace you. It's 11:26 a.m. And so you have what is understanding the sex offender. That is the federal government, the United States Postal Service. You're touching, you're going to be prosecuted as the sex offender that you are. Okay? And there is no respecter of some sort of method whereby the government is engaging in that sexual violence. It's identification of the actor on behalf of an entity. United States Postal Service engaging in kidnapping while they were engaging in the same exact conduct while this entity was kidnapping me along with the sheriff's department, who intentionally crossed his path at that moment, by the way. As I mentioned kidnapping, understand those demons that are maintaining presence all around cross paths. 7YLV 906. That's all they're doing. This is all about me. They're literal psychopaths. This is Satan. Satan is an obsessed, albeit loser, that is stalking. All right? You're talking about an obsessed and determined one, but he loses. When Satan, and I'm referencing Satan because this is exactly what this is attributed to. Satan is real. Demon possession is real. Demon possession is that which you are exhibiting through your outward conduct, not by looking like Freddy Krueger on the outside. Okay, let me be clear. Demons can look very attractive to you in their exterior. They can be pretty. They can be handsome. They can be have nice hair or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You're talking about Satan that is using a person. All right. And their demon possession is exhibited by the directed light. That's absolutely inexplicable light. It's unnatural. It's not happening under any sun, let alone they're under what is a fake sun. And let me be clear. That's a demonic environment. It's the direct indicator of Satan itself that you are encountering through a person. That's what demon possession is. All right. That's what demon possession is all about. License 8S70282, group stalking at the curb, monitoring with Amazon Prime 05132E2, I believe. That's Amazon Prime, intentionally crossing paths while that demon uses their hazard lights. 7UGU733, 8MDH905, 7ZNW354, and United Rentals crossing path monitoring with the hazards by 8S70282. This is a demon that creeps around the corner, slowly drives up while they're listening to the fact that the United States Postal Service is going to be prosecuted for what is sexual violence, and their kidnappers that are sexually violating. It doesn't change the Ontario Police Department, and they're going to federal prison. They're kidnappers who are sexually violating repeatedly, doing so with a group of third parties, which are the people of the state. You're talking about an entity that's engaging in repeated sexual acts of violence, repeatedly, all right? While they're documenting, because they're stalking, what you're saying about it. 803-79H3. All right, that's what the entity is engaging in. And the sheriff's department, guess what? The same environment where I'm showing you my shadow, where I'm showing you these demons that are walking around with multiple shadows, that environment was present inside of state facilitating. So you have in directed light while they cross path. 8JRW530. So you have what is the sex offenders that are the San Bernardino, and I documented those deputies, as many of them, but guess what? It's not limited on just the ones that I identify by name. That entire venue is a state facilitating venue. That's why the state's fake sun is over it while I'm on the Omnitrans bus passing at Barrington and Etiwanda. And while those demons are listening to that, you have what was the sheriff's department coming in close proximity on the street of San Bernardino Avenue to stalk while City of Ontario, they're both on camera, the Omnitrans bus that I'm on yesterday, stalking in the path while directed light is streaming from the vehicle, running across the asphalt while they're driving in front and beside the vehicle. I mean, they're demons and violent sex offenders having multiple, triple, double, quadruple shadows while I was kidnapped by this exact same entity. They're demons. That's demonic. Okay, that's how you are witnessing demon possession. The light activity that I have revealed to you, the stalking conduct by a whole group of people that I have revealed to you, it does not, irrespective of some company logo. You're getting past that. Where do the logos come in the company? That comes into the ways in which you're going to prosecute the government that's operating a satanic targeting system. And this satanic operation is focused on communication devices, monitoring using technology, stalking and monitoring with communication devices. It's focused on that. All right, 7RFX243. All right, and so you have what is down to the timing. Understand that's what I'm pointing out with regard to the sheriff's department that crosses paths visibly, because an entire entity is maintaining stalking presence. So Satan literally takes turns as Satan is listening to me reference a particular actor. All right, so the demon possessed of the Ontario Police Department and the United States Postal Service pacing in opposite directions while I'm discussing the fact that I'm going to prosecute them and their kidnappers, and they are engaged together in theft of property. The United States Postal Service is engaged in the pattern of conduct as I documented with regard to my law case, Erica Lorraine Spencer v. Bill and Wags, by the way, which is October 11, 2019, where this entity stole my car. The United States Postal Service doing what it is that they do, engaging in P.O.C, engaging in harassment, and I mailed what is a form to the Department of Motor Vehicles. Of course, it's delivered by the United States Postal Service. They're engaged in the P.O.C. They're monitoring the entire time. This is the cooperative criminal conduct of an entity, and that is documented, all right? And they're also engaging in what is kidnapping while they're monitoring me, knowing exactly who I am, which is what I'm continually telling you and revealing to you, and you're witnessing while they're crossing paths with directed light. They know exactly where I was chained up on the sheriff's department buses, while the state kept its fake sun over those buses that I was on by being transported to the state facilitating venue of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. They were stalking then like they're stalking now. Stalking together as demons all around, maintaining focus on me, trying to lock me down, trying to silence me. Satan doesn't get to do that. I'm going to prosecute Satan for what it tried to do. And you're understanding what is the necessity of legislation to restrain Satan and all of its criminal devices and all of its minions that it's acting through. It's acting through the sheriff, it's acting through the courts, and it's acting through law enforcement, the police. All of whom are monitoring with black-faced demons, white-faced demons, brown-faced demons. It doesn't matter what their race is. It doesn't matter what language they speak. This is spiritual. It's demonic, and it's evil and twisted at its core. Thinking that they can keep tabs on every American citizen, monitoring them together with the people of the state. 6 VKS 601. So you're understanding what is the prosecution of a sex offender and a kidnapper. That is the United States Postal Service. They're engaged in P.O.C. They know I was chained up and they were monitoring me and engaging in the same exact stalking conduct while they're stalking past and molesting me with directed light. They were stalking while I was kidnapped, and that is their engagement in direct kidnapping. Right, you're monitoring while I'm in that state, engaging your little twisted and demented ritualistic stalking conduct while the fake sun was kept over me while I'm kidnapped by the Sheriff's Department and the Ontario Police Department and the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court. All right, that same ongoing knowledge, which is an admission while these demons do that, and this is what I'm saying. This is the asinine entity that has been, if you will, outthunk, and I'm making up a word there. They have been outmaneuvered with regard to what is their system, and they are literally surrounded. Because while you admit to knowledge of who I am, and the fact that you're a stalker, and the fact that you're a demon possessed one by virtue of directed light and a fake sun, you're talking about what is knowledge. While I'm kidnapped, you were doing the exact same thing, maintaining the same knowledge, engaging in that same criminal conduct, which is the engagement in that system on an ongoing, comprehensive basis. That's exactly what the people of the state were documented and as engaged in. While I documented license plates while kidnapped by the same entity that was stalking all around on the roads and the highways, maintaining presence all around, monitoring with communication devices, while I was kidnapped by the Sheriff's Department in their vehicles being transported to and from, which included the United States Postal Service. All right, in the same demonic environment, while those deputies and medical workers and inmates had 4 and 5 shadows all around them while they walked around in directed light in the state facilitating venues. Okay, while they maintained a demonic environment with flashing light, just like 8S70282, while these demons patrol. That's P.O.C. It is 11:35 a.m. And the Ontario Fire Department crossing path again. And they're all monitoring to what is the creation of light activity. Alrighty, yeah, you too. You have what is audible activity under directed light and under the fake sun, which is over me. That's the demonic behavior pattern. The Sheriff's Department monitoring with that. And understand the Sheriff's Department crossing paths again as I'm speaking about them. That's 8S70282. Maintaining that prolonged light. Since I was discussing on my podcast the fact that the United States Postal Service is going to be prosecuted as a sex offender, that's unprecedented, right? Well, it's unprecedented criminal conduct, and that's exactly how they're going to be prosecuted, because that's exactly what they've been doing. Since I discussed that third party has been maintaining presence right here with flashing light. That's criminal facilitation for all of the third parties, including S.I.I.S, touching with directed light. United States Postal Service repeatedly crossed the path. The Sheriff's Department, the Fire Department. You have what are all the third parties, including Amazon Prime. Remember I mentioned that? been loitering since I mentioned that, okay? Prolonged period. As I start capturing video, he comes out and moves his vehicle. Let me be clear, he's monitoring. And what I documented is he's monitoring and terrorizing, engaging in criminal facilitation of that life-threatening conduct on behalf of the government while utilizing what is an age of one who is of the age of minority in operation of a communication device. And that's all you need is presence, let me be clear. Using a minion that is under the age of 18 to engage in terrorizing another. That's going to be to that prosecution. That's what the government routinely engages in. Monitoring with the sheriff's department, monitoring with the demon driving an Amazon Prime vehicle, and Amazon Prime heavily documented. You have what is engaging in monitoring. Lupe's Auto Repair, they're monitoring, just like that demon was demonstrating while he was standing in relevant position. He goes inside behind a wall where I can't see him. They're all monitoring together. That's why Directed Light is repeatedly molesting me. They're keeping activity around me, okay? And keeping a fake sun over me. And that's what I capture in video at 11:36 a.m. That which is not the sun, all right? That which is not capable of also remaining present over me while I'm on the 10 East Freeway, as I showed you on January 2nd. That which is impossible with coexisting as being anywhere over me at the Fontana Lewis Library, both yesterday and on the 2nd as I went. Not only that, you're talking about what is remaining as I am facing south. That is the entire opposite direction and nowhere possibly coexisting with remaining over the 630 North Fern while I'm in the car. CA05 P61 paper, operation and communication device. 5XUC238. And that's the P.O.C. That is the pattern of conduct, and I did capture that on video. It's currently 11:40 a.m. License plate 62532H3. Benjamin Moore crossing path. License I can't really see that one. 69555K2, 8WUU347, Amazon Prime again, 05131E2, 7TDN 835. That's the same Amazon Prime vehicle that was crossing path monitoring with the one under the age of majority, 7XGA 127, I believe. So they're crossing path again and doing so in Directed Light. And you've got another Amazon Prime vehicle coming. They're stalking. All right, that's why I showed you the video. They're doing so under the fake sun and in Directed Light. They're stalking. That's all you're doing when you are under a fake sun, by the way. That's all you're doing. And these demons do so while they're listening to be documented. 17698A3. All right, radiant Directed Light while that demon of Amazon Prime crosses path. 5YPF411. 8VLY829. 8RDK437. 8HMZ054. 6YAB861. 8R, I can't really see that one. And so let me be clear that it is 11:41 a.m. The state's fake sun remains directly over my head as I showed you on video where that demon was creating light activity via hazards. 1563317, City of Ontario, stalking with Directed Light. All right, and that's all understanding what is a comprehensive state system where there is no exception. All right, this is the government maintaining presence. This is a demon-possessed entity maintaining presence, 6UBA190, and that's how you have that, which I also captured again, which is impossible light activity spanning across a building, an elevated the walls elevated on the walls of a building while they are driving by on the street. And they are all driving by on the street under what is not the sun, okay? Those are demons. That's the demon-possessed. And that includes companies such as Amazon Prime, right? That is the pattern of conduct. 8 AKA 915 BS00A07 paper. 8 GYR 413. 7 CRU 371. 8 VIK 370. 7 UQO 879. Like I said, this is at this juncture you're talking about literally. I just captured the video. All they're doing is stalking, and there's no reasonable question about that at all. And the entity knows that they are very privy to the documentation. Directed Light spanning while they are driving westbound on Halt. Oh my goodness, this is so sad. But it's revealing what is the that demon 7GYU325 driving Student Transportation of America while you see that Directed Light and the fake sun. And you see them turn onto Vine Avenue. That demon is coming by and crossing path. That's a demon driving a school bus. That's a demon, in other words, waiting to be removed out of positions in the state of California where these threats to the public are acting and engaging in lawlessness and sexual violence and targeting and stalking and monitoring American citizens. 7YAD804. That demon is driving a school bus. Okay? I don't care, Mennonite children or not, you're talking about having no business around children. That's a violent sex offender by virtue of prosecution as a group stalker. That's what that's going to. 7XFD156. But you're also understanding what is necessary when you're revealing and uncovering public corruption. It is neutralizing all of the threats posed by the entity itself, which are engaging in lawlessness together. Dangerous psychopaths who are engaging in this criminal conduct, targeting an American citizen, engaging in obstruction of justice. All the ways I've revealed that the entity does that. 5HKZ600, while the directed light from Ontario Montclair Rialto School District crossing pad driving west. And that's a demon identifying with the school bus while I'm identifying the fact that demons drive school buses, which I've already documented. Let me be clear. When I started pulling out video cameras and documenting the government was literally documenting itself. Okay, the government is the fool. All right, I've got a camera up. It would behoove you to not tell your own secrets, because all I have to do is put a microphone to it and put a camera in your face. You're doing it. I'm not doing it. You're doing it. All right, so you're talking about what is literally a fool. So while you are stalking school buses, which I've documented the school districts doing under the fake sun, stalking with a helicopter, stalking in directed light, while, by the way, I'm in an entirely different location, you have what is repeatedly crossing paths by another school bus while they're listening to the fact that demons are driving school buses, and you don't have any business around children. You are a threat to the public. You are a violent sex offender. That's exactly what your condition is, and you just don't like to hear the truth. But that's based on your objective conduct that has been documented. It's a matter of evidence. It's a matter of record. And it is going to be used against you. All right? So you have 11:45 a.m. engaging in that P.O.C. And as I capture on video, while the state's fake sun is over me, you have what is that school bus that then drives onto that Student Transportation of America in directed light, and that light activity created by that demon in that white van, while the directed light is spanning across the building. All right, that's the third party in that school bus, Student Transportation of America, that crosses path. 7ZSJ683. This is the same demon stalking in helicopters that followed from Fontana Lewis Library. All right, and like the puppet that Satan is, that's following me, stalking me, you have what is doing so audibly as I reference the fact that Student Transportation of America and school districts stalk under a fake sun and by helicopter. That's the puppet that is Satan. Okay, and you're talking about what is damning to the people of the state. Not that they're already prosecuted. True, it's very true. They're already prosecuted. But you're talking about clearly Satan has no interest and no intention and has no plans on even trying to. 6KKN676. It doesn't exist. There is no leg to stand on. But that's helicopter activity. As I reference helicopter activity, okay? That's the Sheriff's Department. As I reference kidnapping by the United States Postal Service, okay? All right, that was Ontario PD and the United States Postal Service pacing. As I reference the fact that they're violent sex offenders and kidnappers, engaging in stalking where I sleep, where I use the bathroom. That's P.O.C. That's demons. They're following me, okay? 8UYF561. They are literally followers, okay? 8THK136. They're just a militia of 8WAE486 of literally pathetic little group-minded minions, the Walking Dead, hollow little zombies that are walking around in police uniforms in the natural light. They're bad. They're not. They are pathetic. Okay, they are buffoons, okay, literally outmaneuvered with regard to this criminal system. And I'm going to deal with each and every minion in the way that is necessary with regard to their position, with regard to their engagement in the P.O.C, and the way that that system operates. 8TSL341, and that is pathetic. The AWPP491. You're talking about literally following she talked about helicopter. Let's create helicopter activity. That's literally what Satan's doing. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. They are following literally everything that I do, everything that I say, everything that I mention, okay? Everything that these demons are doing is focused on me. And again, you're deducing that from the environment. That which is not the sun is remaining over me in the city of Ontario at Vine and Hope Boulevard. And also directed light, which is never occurring under the sun. And that is not even the sun that's over me, okay? BUZV544, 8JHS437. That's not even the sun that's over me. That is also how you know everything that they're doing is focused on me. They are entirely inferior creatures. Entirely. And it is entirely pathetic. It is so pathetic. It's nauseating. Anyway, it's 11:48 a.m. This is P.O.C. 8KBP 453, I believe. I'm going to document ongoing sex offender 7NPT 581, 6UWG 861, 7DJL 562, 6N RZ444. And by the way, it's 11:52 a.m. WQL163. Coca-Cola crossing path again. Remember, all they're doing is taking turns. All of them are predators just waiting to touch while they're stalking. 8AJU992, 5LQR687, 9G05990, US.4992110, Coca-Cola. 5EBS495, 8E38302, 96317E2. That is plain activity centered on where I'm at. The same exact pattern of conduct, okay? Same exact one over and over again. That's why it's referred to as a pattern of conduct. 8FJH823. Handicap 652TU. JQD815. Let's see. US.2890553. 7L35464. That's US dot for towing and recovery. They got a triple A, excuse me, logo on their vehicle. Let's see, I don't see a license plate. That's just the US dot number. Okay, FedEx crossing path in addition to 99070Y1. 7558582. 8SIH250. Not only is FedEx crossing path, FedEx is loitering in relevant position at third-party facilitating venue, the Holt Boulevard Car Wash, located at 322 West 322 West Holt Boulevard. XNN323 JGMGRR, I believe. It's 11:55 a.m. (6FCX310) 8WKE397 7LDX629 7EZK914. That's audible activity from 322 West Holt Boulevard, the Holt Boulevard Car Wash. Audible activity, and FedEx is loitering at that property monitoring. 816U502, I believe, substantially slimmer. That's an Emmanuel Appliances vehicle. 8BQV983. 8TED713. 26284G1. 8CEV676, Ontario PD, crossing path at Lupe's Auto Repair, loitering. 6FRG081. Doing so under the fake sun that remains over me at 11:56 a.m. Doing so in the exact same directed light. 8WLN781. 8FOG139. And OPD crossing going westbound on traffic cameras as well. 02276G3, Eric's Towing. 8RVV952. Let's see, 4YDF227. 9935 2C2. 60141L1. FQR 607. That's a white and green license plate. That's out of state. That's audible activity and engineered light. License plate 7JXU519, 7NWU864. This is handicap X3785, 8ADW258. It's 11:57 a.m. 8KOY192. Remember, while I'm documenting this and I'm showing you the video, the state keeping its fake sun right here over me as I face south and show you the these apartments at Vine and Hall. The state was keeping its fake sun over me at the Bank of America at the same time. 4RNN622. 1251322. 8LEE887. 5XXJ105. 7LKT297. 44064J3. VLK140-A. 6KOH613. CIZ 698. The state of California is filled with demons. That's what's wrong. And if you don't live here, and if you're not aware of it, I would keep my distance. It's not what it's cracked up to be. They are lying with regard to being a state that has sunshine all day long. It's not the real sun, the actual, and understand this is something that nobody seems to question. There's only one sun, and how are you going to have sun in the state of Georgia, where you are, as I am showing you, keeping a fake sun over the people of the state in California who are monitoring? That's not the sun. 87PLW273. I am just answering the question that nobody seems to pose. All right, and there's a reason for that, by the way. But actually, it defies common sense. It defies science and nature to maintain a sun in one state. And what I'm documenting, it's not just in one state. It's in a part of the state, Southern California, not just in one part of the state. It's in one county, one city, over one person, remaining over me. That's why the state's fake sun is remaining over this apartment building. That's to the exclusion of Texas. All right, because you're stalking with a fake sun. So that means there's no sun in the state of Texas. 7JWD189. All right, contrary to the very hot days in the state of Texas. That's the same for Nevada, contrary to the very hot days in the state of Nevada. So what's hovering over them in the state of Nevada? All right, those are questions that nobody seems to pose, but this is revealing what the government is engaging in. And they're revealing themselves while they are crossing path in what is engineered light, showing that they are stalkers. 714-64Y1. All right, because that is not the sun. And that's all that documentation reveals. No one wants to answer the question. That's fine. You don't have to, because I know that that's not the sun. And that's what I've documented, because that defies common sense. And like I said, rudimentary understanding of the principles, what you're taught at least about the sun in 5th grade. Okay, this is not science. This is not rocket science. It's not rocket science at all. So you want to have it both sides. The sun is so massive that it's remaining in one state all day long, and it's also on the opposite side of the country in Florida, for example. But at the same time, it's hovering over a building in the state of California and remaining for the duration of the day, and then acting like that same sun is setting, aiming light inside of that same building. And if it's such a massive star and it's over the entire country, then it will be setting literally those buildings on fire. And it's also not coexisting with being anywhere on the East Coast. Right? HCDS 565. 7GBD 645, 8EKS 538, 7LZU 908, 5JSV 927, I believe. And you also have what is not sunlight while demons cross paths, 74000A1. All right, to that degree, you're talking about Satan telling on itself. 8YQR 494. CSY 987. It's 12:01 p.m. 7RGW 601. 8. I can't really see that one. This is 1399976. I'm not. That's Omnitrans plus 1262. 78KN340. 8MZK671. 5HBZ194. 8GSG717. It's at 12:02 p.m. 8VDJ813. 7HVH265. 8TWF105. 6XTB543. 8KMD859, I believe. Can't really see that one that clearly though. 8UXH594 1388 13388J1. 3THC566. Omnitrans going westbound, bus 2353. 5HPM 915. 5TYR574. 6MNT 5. I can't see the rest on. 5NTW 475. 8EDP 940. LPD crossing path again, stalking with the rest of these third parties. 8T, 8, I can't really see the rest of them. OPD license 1567617, vehicle 1896, and the sex offender is touching. 8RVH577, 8XKG299, 8FPD821, 4NOR585. All right, license plate. OPD loitering at the Holt Boulevard Car Wash, 322 West Holt Boulevard, in relevant position under the fake sun and in directed light. Same thing that FedEx was doing. Same thing that the people of the state are doing, and the Holt Boulevard Car Wash themselves. Those are demons working at a car wash in relevant position, creating audible activity, monitoring while the fake sun remains over me and directed light remains. License plate 5HNT573. 6HNT573. And that horn is a method of stalking with activity as I move my foot. 82634Z1, 7FSJ400, 06008J2, 7GZE872, 7MPD925, 7SAT124, 6GTJ217, 8MCAT89, I believe. Ontario PD crossing path again. License plate 1516961, vehicle 1876. License plate 5FGC698. License 6K42827. UQE661. It's 12:06 p.m. 12776J2, 8DVU 565, 8WQL 217, 454NK handicap, 6WWR 903, 1540381, 8C22895, I believe. 8V, I can't really see that one. 8, let's see. 8XNR 269. 7CTS 034 52752V1 8KUP 796 5UON 091 7CVW 126 8KLB 610 4847R 7R82, I believe. Nine 6901B3. City of Ontario, crossing path on Vine, driving north on Vine and turning west onto Holt Boulevard at 12:08 p.m. Oh 370082, I believe. That's hooked on towing, reaching all the way across the street to touch me. Sex offender, a demon, okay, in a commercial vehicle. License plate. License 8DXC33058EH. I can't see the rest of that one. 7XJH202. I can't see that one. 3EYW535 8RRT202 5XUM064 14528E3 5VEF 5VFF053 8UNC066 8XRL 971 1580338. City of Ontario again. Student Transportation of America, a demon driving a school bus, directed light reaching across the street while they drive westbound on Holt, reaching across the apartment building, just like I showed you in video. 6YNS458. And while I show you, while the state's fake sun is in motion through the window of the vehicle that I'm on, going from the Village, Stater Brothers, to B&G Plaza in the morning, the state is keeping its fake sun stationary, where it's already captured moving in the morning, which the sun is not moving like that. You're talking about witnessing the movement of that fake sun hovering through the window. The state is keeping its fake sun in direct contrast with that, right where I'm standing. 5UON091 8KOY156 778 92D2 8E. I can't say that one. 8TQA314 MEXGRL1. See, 707RA, I believe, handicap. 8WTS387, PAU 376, 8MRF343, 8UYG801, 8YRV978, 8LOX917. 8BIZ823. BWH78. I'm sorry, BWH7686. That's Washington. CAO9H94 paper 5ETR 142 6GPP 182 7VIN 043 7KME 711 6ZTS 815 8ZNY 587 7J18 041 8AVM 210 7S92 7S9. I can't really see that one. Ends with 77, but you can scratch that one. 8ULU 644 8JAS 966 U963STR 342L4P, that's a motorcycle. Ontario Montclair School District crossing path on a large yellow school bus, turning north on Vine and west onto Holt Boulevard at 12:13 p.m. on traffic cameras. License plate 7AAZ150 73393A3 8GME 692 8ETP 966 8TRY 870 81545Z1 8UVK 653 7FZF023 8PSZ616. F3 roadside rescue 7GJT449 5PJL030 6G40721 It's 12:14 p.m. Eight MIM 415 1395349 Chaffey College Grounds Department 6EBL 061 7CJW 879 7L I can't see the one 6ZT9 I can't see that one either. You can stretch those. K2 8 LVE 675 8 XRL 971 8 JSF 596 8 SME 301 8 RMA 360 05697M2 7 TVC 614 16474G2 7 WVV 725 28117J1 8 JJR 536 7 RAV 814 8 EUG 997 7Z 7ZHM 996 or 7Z I can't really see that one 1388 8J1 I believe or 13388J1 and I already documented them. They're crossing path again. Three UXD 493 8 BTG 348 25443W1, 8ED615, substantial number, 7KME 780, 7SLW 080. (202-8183) Lava Propane. (8GRL 124) Paper BU46S74. That's a Latino male in a white Silverado truck. An operational communication device, MONITOS, a black Hummer, 97627Y2, 7BRV486, 7B0895, I believe. I can't really see the whole license plate. This is JB Hunt, 9F91810. 6894FL is the back of that truck with the JB Hunt logo. 8TST415, I believe. 8VZV447. BM17Z10 paper on a GMC. A GMC SUV vehicle. It's like a gold color. (81542) 81542S2, I believe. 7TYJ918 943HT handicap. 31084H3. 8JFY 352. 5FJR 777. 7B23314. Dewey 51453T2. Dewey Pest Control. 8FSC 361. 6SEC 700. 8XYB 965. 8CNY 367. Ryder 3210255, I believe. That's the back of that Ryder truck. And a radiant or orange directed light, as I've already shown you in video. They're doing nothing but stalking. I've already documented them and the people of the state, and I'm documenting all of them doing the exact same thing. This is stalking by the state. 58005X1, I believe. License 7. I can't really see that one. (5TOL 564) 8TWW 962, 8LYR 846, GREY RCP, 8HSP 030, 8H34 322. Out front crossing path again, 8B90809, 7SLL 411, 6D52669, I believe. License 8PZT 204, 8DBN 567, 95441J1, and it's currently 12:21 p.m. All right, I did capture video 6VWW486 of what is the documentation of the state and mutually the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government, stalking on behalf of that government, who is dragging a light source, keeping it over me for a prolonged period while I'm at the intersection in between Fern and Vine on Holt Boulevard. 5704, I can't really see that one. That's LLC ride, 7KSX68. Scratch that one. Omnitrans 1545683, bus 2344, directed light while they are crossing path here at that bus stop. They didn't stop, they kept driving, and directed light is on the ground. Directed light is not on the ground at the B&G Plaza while I'm there. It's targeted to where they are engaging in that conduct. And you know that because directed light is engineered light. That's not sunlight. That is the specific signature of demons who are stalking with the government. License 8TDP 681. Alrighty, and I am now at what is Fern, approaching what is Fern and Hope Boulevard, where 322 West Hope Boulevard is located. 8TQV530. All right, this capturing video showing you what is a real-time movement as I move, and also showing 5LRW470, 8TBC240, 8WUA595. What is the movement of that state's fake sun abruptly as I move from in front of that apartment building at the intersection of Vine and Holt. 7TVL298, 8VKA898, 7G84. I can't really see that one. And I also showed you what is Fern Avenue, where I'm standing at 630 North Fern is where the state was keeping its fake sun over the vehicle, as I showed you on January 1st, 2022. And the fake sun is not even in that direction. All right, my back is to the direction where the state was keeping its fake sun over me as I stayed at that vehicle, and the state kept its fake sun over that vehicle on that street up until 4:27 p.m., which I showed you on the first. 8Y47566, 8UQE661, 6HNT573. 07593X2, 7YXJ473, 7GTN156, 7RMR534, 8MPL93. 8MPL931, 5FKN492, 8ZDD002, 4YRN404, 5ZHK008, 6BVZ733, 8E87437. Alrighty. BNW096, 6K90770. And it is 12:26 p.m. where I captured that video. Well, not where I captured that video. It's 12:26 p.m. right now. And I captured that video where I have left the apartment. The apartment building where I'm standing at Vine and Holt. And these are license plates of third parties who are loitering in relevant position at the car wash. And license plate 1545798, bus 2342, Omnitrans. 6HRX169, 8RQD850, CA35K15 paper, BL32G65, 8GME692, 8LLC33. 7ZBC765, 549, let me see, 2Z80H3, 54990N1. And again, that video, as I'm capturing it after 12 p.m., again, this is everything that I'm documenting is relevant to what is documenting the rest of the country that's monitoring American citizens. In the state of California, it's direct evidence in the state of California, but it's also revealing what's going on in the other states. While you have what is not the sun that is hovering in other states in the country. 8UVB956, 4HQL, can't see the rest of the one, 5WJS335, 8VEC305, 5MLK141, 8KTX051. This is surveillance by a government. This is stalking by a government. This is interstate stalking by a government. And that is why a fake sun remains over me. And that is to the exclusion of any other state while it's remaining over me on a street in a city, and doing so for the duration of the day. And I want to be clear, where the state is putting its fake sun, this is the same position, 8GXV737, that the state then acts like is setting on the same street, moving in the same direction that I move. All right, you have what is a state that has already advanced west beyond the Ovid Family Community Library. 8FRG 971, as I'm capturing it right now while it's over the apartment building, 8NUF 060, 6UZF 989, where the state is already west of the Ovid Family Community Library, and I've shown you documentation where the state is remaining for the duration of the day over the 280 North Living Apartments, and then acting like the sun is setting, maintaining alignment west of the location of the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. That's just one example. That's what the state is doing at the Fontana Lewis Library. That's what the state is doing, as I have documented at every venue where I remain, and the state remains with the fake sun. 7APL045, RREYES 1, 6MCA 280, 8NYN 205, OMSD, 7YUJ 693, 8215, 3S2, 4YPE 339, 8YQY 534, 8XFR 628, 7YBX 780. All right, you're going to understand that because that's where I'm located on Vine and Holt. The state's fake sun has already advanced west beyond where the state is then acting like the sun is setting, which also is not going to be visible. 1585635, I believe that's Rialto Police crossing path under the fake sun that's now moving east over Holt Boulevard. You have what is the state engaging in conduct that is literally asinine. Okay, and this is revealed while you're stalking, because the state is an obsessive stalker. All I have to do is go somewhere and I'm revealing what is stalking with a fake sun, while it is also remaining over a single city, remaining over me. All right, that is the personalization of what is a fake sun. WQT 398, that's an old yellow van. Vitco Foods crossing path on Holt and Euclid, 7NMZ 134. 7KPD 465, 7FDL 996, 7JBP 154, 8VNZ 271, 8RGT 605, 67815M2, 8RFG 207. And you're also going to remember where I'm at on December 31st, 2022. I'm sorry, 2021, December 31st, 2021. And the state's fake sun, as I'm documenting, as I have not yet even arrived at Holt Boulevard. You have the state's fake sun that's west of Euclid and Holt Boulevard. I was walking south down Euclid Avenue on the 31st, FJH 746. I'm sorry, FGH 4764, Texas. 5RRF 824. 88207W2. 8MOA 163. 5HOZ 530, 8ECY015, 8CSF 780, 5KLE 667, 5CRA 401, 8AKN 340, 36618S2, 7YAX 169, 6FRG 081, 8PTD 542, 7KUW 976, 6YAE 995, BF 39K61 paper, 5ATF 810, 8TIZ 011, 2J45YC, 7AEY 741, 6GXX 561, 6XSN 808, 8GO 9959, 8VSA 847, 85000A3, 7FMF 427, 5CDK24, I think I read that one, 8LFL 649, 7KKD 682, 8JNL 612, 4VKZ 148, BU 715, I believe. I can't really see that one. That's paper. 297WM handicap 4193982. But I can't really see that one. You can scratch that. Rider crossing path again, going east. 6NBZ 271. Righty, and it is currently 12:33 p.m. License plate, City of Ontario, 1562885, vehicle 4202, 8NDR 494. License plate, 6ADW 121. License 53358F1. 8NDR 494, 5HOZ 530. This is audible activity created by Rich's Second Loan. Third-party facilitating venue, where the state's fake sun is right here over state facilitating venue, the United States Postal Service at 123 West Hope Boulevard, where, again, yesterday, not only am I at the Fontana Lewis Library, ATEY 173. On the 1st, I remain at 630 North Fern at this time. 6GZC 649. You're talking about documenting on the 2nd, where I have been on the 10 freeway and I remain at the Fontana Lewis Library, 6FIG 436, where the state kept its fake sun over my head in that city. And you're talking about what is on the 31st, where I'm coming from American Inn and I am still walking south on Euclid Avenue. The state's fake sun is over me on Hope Boulevard, where on the 31st, I have not yet even arrived on this street. And that is just pointing out what is stalking with the fake sun remaining over me. 7HQH 410 56901H3. 7KGT 985 19819Y2, 6ANY 437, 7VRW 203, 6ZFJ 375, 7VVP 937, JB Hunt crossing path again, going north on Euclid Avenue. All right, crossing path, intentionally stalking in that environment, engaging in molestation while they're crossing path as well. 8TED 378. That's what they're doing while I'm standing in front of the apartment building at Holt and Vine, where that which is not the sun was remaining over my head. FGH 4764 is crossing path again. 816ZP handicap 10945P1 7GVY 620 3FEV 016 7JWJ 884 7VSV 650 AP 03567 8XNT 894, and again AP 03567. That looks like a different looking license plate. 6688482 54634C1 6LOX 698 6RZR 153. All right, license plate 5VFY 633 BS77L95 paper C914TO MYEKIDZ 8XPW 658 8SVL 188 C914TO 9139 8B2 8NDS 090 7KIN 973 6HTF 722 144089. Can't see the rest of that one. 8. I'm sorry, you can scratch that one. 6FHB 702 7CSR 934 6BSD 829 5JIT 227 8872. I'm sorry, 88752H1. All right, this is license plate. I'm done. 5JIT227, yeah. 8SDR053, 7BMZ 433, 6WVS 512, 8GLK276, 8VXX 607, 6H71822, 7GHG 343, 8MWL 776, 7ZRN 184, 8EHF 342, 1554188, CJKATG 8NMS 929, LUMCLAN 898ZP handicap 6JJM 383, 7EIB 135, I believe. And I did capture video of what is the state's fake sun over me at the intersection of Holt Boulevard and Euclid Avenue. And I'm reminding you about December 31st. I'm reminding you also about the 1st and the 2nd, where I do not remain at this intersection. I'm not even in Ontario. I remain at the Fontana Lewis Library, where the state kept its fake sun over that venue, which is why I'm able to show you at 4:27 p.m. through the window of that computer lab where the state was placing a fake sun, which at this time, by the way, while I'm showing you in the morning, is west of that location. And then the state will engage in acting as though that's the sun that is in the city east of Fontana, particularly aimed inside of the window, aiming direct light inside of that computer lab. That's called stalking with light. All right, doing so with what is not a sun, by the way, and also showing what is the remaining of what's supposed to be the sun in the state of California, and not coincidentally remaining in alignment with me. All right, because I've shown you that same conduct in the city of Ontario at the same time, also 4:27 p.m. on Mountain Avenue. The state was keeping its fake sun in perfect alignment with me in the parking lot of the Ontario Plaza. All right, that is where the state's fake sun is in alignment with me at 4:27 p.m. while I'm on the bus, essentially 4:30 p.m. driving north of Sierra Avenue in the city of Fontana. All right, that's understanding what is stalking with light. License, yeah, AP03 567, ATDR 397, 8PTW 466, 8W VY 040, 872373, CA 09275, and this is Athens Services, California 335125. And I read their license plate. Let me read it again. 872373. 7MEH029. RSKYBIZ. 7, I read that one. 1522056 8ZNT365 56269V1 20675D3 8YBU422 7MGC512 8VWT322 4RZB018 5XHS728 8EOM351 8PSR468 BE31C86 paper 8VFB969 377LL handicap 7EML227 7RGJ453 8MCG151 4SWC244. And Omnitrans is remaining in perfect alignment with me by stalking using the bus stop at Lemon and Holt Boulevard right now as well. 7FCJ350. That is Route 61, stalking at the Lemon and Holt at 12:43 p.m. Creating light activity as well. All right, Omnitrans is doing nothing but engaging in criminal conduct on behalf of the state. They don't have any form operating a bus line. They're under the fake sun, and they're engaging in the demonic behavior of stalking in the path. 43601R2. 7MDE590. 4XNP929. 8WHK517. Let me make sure that 7MOE590. Excuse me, let me correct that. 7SHG981. 8UPR987. 87060H2. 8GLPO25. 8C12283. 7FMZ931. The state moving over by Amazon Prime. Let me show you. All right, I did capture on video for your eyes to see what is the fake sun over 150 East Holt, and reminding you about all the documentation that I've already published with regard to the state keeping a fake sun over me in the morning from when I was sleeping at the museum where this entity was stalking, maintaining presence over me with a fake sun and in directed light, and doing so while it was over 150 East Holt, which is where I'm standing right now on Holt Boulevard, all of which is before on December 31st, where I have not yet reached the street of Holt Boulevard where the state was keeping its fake sun over me on Euclid Avenue while I was walking south coming from American Inn, and I am on this same street where the state is also engaging in what you're showing, which is as I remain at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, as I remain at the intersection at the Gator Glass, at the intersection of Vine and Holt, where the state's fake sun remains over that apartment building complex. You are also looking at in that video UPS that is hovering over the 3-star janitorial as though it's taking off. There's no airport right there. You're talking about what is hovering wherever it is that I am at, and you also see the fake sun, which that plane is flying very closely to. If that was the actual sun that's hovering over 150 East Holt, where that plane identifying the company UPS is hovering over that building in relevant position, in other words, that plane would be set on fire. That's not the actual sun. And that is also the ongoing pattern, however, of being present over me in airplanes and helicopter under what is a fake sun and indirect light. That's what I just captured on video. All right, it is currently 12:47 p.m. And by virtue of understanding, looking at what you just looked at on that video, you're talking about what is the absence of presence over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, contrary to what the state is doing when I arrive at that venue, the Ovid Family Community Library, in the morning, and the state places it right over the 280 North Lemon Apartments. While I'm facing 150 East Holt, the state's fake sun is in the opposite direction of 280 North Lemon Apartments. The state's fake sun, I would not be able, in other words, to be facing south, showing you what is stalking by UPS in a commercial airline plane, and Omnitrans on a bus, and the people of the state in all of their cars stalking together as an entity, while my back is to 280 North Lemon Apartments in the Ovid Family Community Library. All right, so what the state does is it moves its fake sun over me as I arrive at that venue, and then placing it there, and then engaging in acting like, remember the documentation, the state acts like the sun is setting, aiming direct light, illuminating the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, whereas this morning I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun that has already advanced west beyond that library. All right, that is not sunlight. That's not the sun setting. That is not the sun hovering over a building. That's not the sun remaining over a building all day long. That's not sunlight that fills inside of the building that creates multiple shadows. All right, that is engaging in maintenance of light all around me while an entity remains all around me. That's the P.O.C, and that's what I just captured on video. It's 12:48 p.m. And again, remember my documentation is relevant to what is Pacific Standard Time. because this is probative of what the United States is engaging in. By virtue of documenting and prosecuting the state of California, it's revealing what's going on in another state. So let's use Nevada as an example. Nevada is very hot, routinely hot. You ever been there? Been to Las Vegas plenty of times. Glaring hot. Heat, excuse me. And you're supposedly thinking that that's the sun, and it's not. Well, I'm showing you what is supposedly the sun that's over me on Holt Boulevard in Ontario, California. 6ZNK 615, 3G 99404. All right, and you're talking about what is revealing what the rest of the country is doing while I reveal what California is doing. Why? Because there's only one sun, one. And you are not over any sky space in Nevada while I'm showing you moving over me. And I'm talking about the sun, the fake sun right now, remaining over me, molesting with that which is not sunlight, hovering over the buildings, which you clearly see it's over 150 East Holt. That's not over any sky space in the state of Nevada. It's remaining exclusively over my head, which my documentation reveals. All right, and so that is revealing what the rest of the country is engaging in. That's not the sun over me. And you're talking about there is only one sun. So you're talking about what the government is doing in the United States. VALJEEP 90120A1, which is monitoring American citizens. And it's entirely demonic. Stalking with light is demonic activity. This demon with license plate 8FCP615. Loitering at 280 North Limit Apartments, where the state's fake sun is not present yet. But like I said, this is not new. I've already documented this before. 5NOZ 723. As I come to the same venue from a different location, that is through the parking lot of the City Hall. The state's fake sun is over that City Hall as I come from the B&G Plaza. As we come from driving from Euclid Avenue, coming down Euclid Avenue and turning onto C Street, I've shown you in more than one video the documentation of the state's fake sun remaining over Euclid Avenue and then turning as we turn onto C Street to approach the library, Open Family Community Library, from that direction. And the state's fake sun is not already over the venue. It is following as I arrive at that venue, 8XBX120. While you're also looking at what is directed light, the stalkers that are the people of the state, such as McCarthy creating audible activity in that entirely deliberate environment. That's the pattern of conduct. Alrighty, it is 12:50 p.m. And contrary to what I just documented, I will show you what is the fake sun now over the 280 North Limit Apartments. Whereas while I am at the Ontario Village Shopping Center, while I'm showing you the fake sun over me, while I am remaining at Vine and Holt Boulevard, and by virtue of my placement, my back is to the direction, so you see the absence of any light source in the sky in this direction. So how is the state? How is the light source then arriving? Because the state is dragging it over my head as I move. All right, 8VHV489, and it's 12:51 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right, capturing video at 3:50 p.m. Excuse me, at 3:40 p.m. It's currently 3:50 right now. I captured video at 3:40 p.m. and I'm drawing for you again an ongoing knowledge and understanding, witnessing. First of all, what is the revealing of demonic activity before your face? In order that those who need to know, those who have ear, may not be naive anymore about the spiritual reality, which is darkness that surrounds the demon possessed. Because this is not only criminal, this is the government engaging in criminal activity for which it will be prosecuted based on objective evidence presented before it in a forum that is the tribunal, a federal court, okay? This is perfectly capable of being prosecuted. But let me be clear, this is Satan at work over a government and over a people. It's entirely demonic, entirely demented. And let me be clear, Satan is a weirdo operating through people. Okay, and you are witnessing that demon possession through the very pattern of conduct itself. What they are doing is demonstrating their demented condition, which is of demon possession. All right. So at 3:40 p.m., and you're going to recall where I was 24 hours ago. At 3:40 p.m., I am seated inside of the computer lab inside of the Fontana Lewis Library in the city of Fontana in the state of California. Okay, and again, this is 3:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 5:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where that which is, if this were the sun, is to the exclusion of every other place in the United States. The sun remaining over the Fontana Lewis Library, aiming that which is supposedly sunlight through the computer lab windows onto the floor, spreading diagonally toward the back entrance, toward in front of the group stalker that's sitting at the back of the computer lab with the predator hairstyle. All right, with the group stalkers who are filling that venue while directed light. That's what that is. It's not sunlight. And also, that's not going to be sunlight that occurs where the fake sun is over the building, which I stepped out at 3:40 to show you. And you are looking at that light source that's directly over me while I step out. I'm standing at the Miller Amphitheater, which is directly, it's the same property. The parking lot separates the Miller Amphitheater field. And I stand on there, which I also noted the state moved its fake sun because as I have walked out, the state was walked out before. As late as 4:45 p.m., you're talking about the state keeping the fake sun from 10 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is I arrive, keeping it over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library. And then as I point the camera out the window facing the parking lot, facing Arrow Boulevard, the state's fake sun is visible through that window, which if that was actually the sun that's above the building of the roof of Fontana Lewis Library, like it is as I step out, then I would not be able to see it through the parking lot window, through the windows of the computer lab that are facing Arrow Boulevard. It would be above the Fontana Lewis Library. Right. The state is keeping the fake sun directly over the roof as I step out of the entrance, the front entrance, to show you what is the remaining light source that is not the sun. And it is to the exclusion of every other state, of every other city and county, by the way, because it's particularly over a specific building. And not only that, you're talking about what is maintaining presence directly over me, perfectly aligned with me wherever it is I go. That's to the exclusion of every other place. Right. So in other words, in San Francisco, again, I'll use that, or Madera, whatever county you want, whatever city you want to use, that is to the exclusion of them. The state's fake sun is in alignment with me. And because the state is stalking with that, which is not the sun, you're going to analyze it based on that. Because if that's the sun, then that means no other location in the state of California, let alone any other state, is visibly underneath the sun. It is not sharing the sky space in Nevada. It is not sharing the sky space over the Ovid Family Community Library in the state of Texas. It is not sharing the sky space of Memphis, Tennessee, or Florida. All right, it's remaining directly over me in one city, in one county, over a particular building where I happen to be, and remains for the duration of the day. And that is also replete with what is not sunlight. It's directed light, engineered light, unnatural light, okay? Impossible light, in other words. And so with regard to what is 3:40 p.m. yesterday at the Fontana Lewis Library, and you're looking at what is that light object in the sky, the state's fake sun, which is visible over, first of all, it's present as I enter the library. It remains in conformity to the documentation that I've already published. I step out at 3:40 p.m. and you are also looking at the light activity inside of that venue, which was directed light, tall bars of directed light stretching across the floor inside. And you are understanding what is then, as I step outside, the impossibility of that being sunlight. Second of all, the state's fake sun is visibly captured as I'm standing in the Miller Amphitheater directly facing the Fontana Lewis Library. After the state is following from Ontario, going east, as I've shown in my documentation that is already published. 3:40 p.m. today, January 4th, 2022, on Tuesday, 24 hours later, at 3:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the state's light source, which is not the sun, and it is to the exclusion of every other county, because I have documented again from 8:30 a.m. and this is remaining at Hope Boulevard, going to B&G Plaza, remaining at Hope Boulevard, inside of a specific address, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, where I showed you the state's fake sun as I arrive at 8:30. I remain after 9:57, I believe, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm showing you what's the state's fake sun. I'm at Gator Glass World, which is at the intersection of Vine and Hope Boulevard, which, by the way, is south of Fern Avenue, where the state kept its fake sun over the vehicle on a single street, over the car, aiming light directly inside of that vehicle for the duration of the day. Up until 4:27, I showed you where I remain stationary at that property, outside in the vehicle, where this entity knows I'm sleeping and is stalking the government and the people. Demons monitoring together. And so at 3:40 p.m. today, the state's fake sun is visible as I stand at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. But not just that. Directed light is touching the windows that are facing what is the covered side structure of the Ovid Family Community Library, a covered structure, okay, where there will be no light. No light underneath, if that was actually the sun, by the way, that was over. But you're understanding it's not just even that time capsule. You're talking about the bigger picture. You're talking about the remaining of a light source. This is supposedly the sun. It's been present at Hope Boulevard at the Ontario Village Shopping Center this morning, which is west of this location at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library where I'm at, where the state's fake sun is present. Then, as I arrive, remaining over me as I walk east and then north up C Street to be over the 280 North Lehman Apartments. But you got to remember the bigger picture. if that's actually the sun, then you're talking about substantially similar conduct of the sun on a daily basis. But that is not what is occurring. When I'm going to a different location, when I remain at a different location, that's where the state's light source remains. That's not the sun. And that's why it is not over the 280 North Limit Apartments while I'm remaining in front of Emporia Place at Vine Avenue and Hope Boulevard. While I'm in front of Gator Glass at Hope Boulevard and Vine Avenue, where I'm present, where this venue opens at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm present, and there's the state's fake sun hovering over the 280 North Limit Apartments. No, not today. It's from over the Ontario Village Shopping Center and remains in conflict with where I went yesterday and where the state's fake sun went right above me. That's why, again, I was able to capture that fake sun over the Circle K at the intersection of Vineyard and Holt Boulevard with the address of 1850 East Holt Boulevard while I'm on the bus. This is what you see moving, keeping in perfect alignment with me in conformity to the long-standing documentation of keeping a light source that is not the sun. And this is documentation showing you that that is not the sun. You have what is stalking with a light source. And so with regard to an example of how you are understanding and witnessing stalking with a fake sun, stalking with light, in other words, which is conduct of Satan, demons, and this is demonic activity by a government, you have what is the state's fake sun that is visible as I'm standing at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. And as I arrive after 12 p.m. and the state moves its fake sun to be over the 280 North Limit Apartments over the in alignment to me where I'm at the entrance. So you're remembering the context of as I arrive, it's not already present over the library, over the entrance across from the library. It follows as I arrive here. And pursuant to what is that ongoing impossibility of that which is the sun, as I walk through the property, I'm showing you what is touching surfaces with engineered light. That's what you see that demon doing in operation of a communication device, while impossible light activity, not only because it's not the sun and you're remembering where the state was with the fake sun yesterday and the light activity inside of that computer lab, you're talking about what is aiming light underneath the side walkway, a shaded structure. Okay, and light is just appearing on that window underneath that structure. And I'm also able to see what is the image, the object itself of the fake sun. Let me be clear, that is incorporating what is the building of the 280 North Limit Apartments while the state moved its fake sun to be in position with me while I'm at that location inside of the library. As I exit the library and I'm showing you what is the fake sun that is now visible through what is the trees, that is not the same vantage point while I'm inside facing the side of the library, facing the senior center, and facing what is the eastern part of the 280 North Limit Apartments before you walk up to the C Street turn circle, right? The state moves its fake sun around the building as I walk to the entrance, in other words. And that is not light activity that's ever going to exist if that was actually the sun, by the way, over the Fontana Lewis Library, aiming light inside of the computer lab, impossible light, and onto the floor, spreading it across the floor while those demons are engaging in stalking with noise, just like the demons here are, stalking with audible activity while surrounded with engineered light, achieving what is monitoring with communication devices, which is the practicing of demonic activity and is prosecuted as what is terrorism by a government and a people, the people of the state of California. And you have what is the state's fake sun at 3:40 p.m. visible over in alignment with me while I am standing outside of the entrance. Directed light fills the inside. You're looking at what is all directed light, not only touching on that glass window of which is underneath a shaded structure. I mean, ridiculously impossible light activity. And then you have what is, as I walk out, the illumination of the entrance area, which the state engages in cycling directed light all day long. The state's aiming directed light, which is piercing through very thick glass panes, which are behind the bathroom door. That's impossible light activity. That is also reaching underneath what is the structure of the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, reaching back into the depths, that is, piercing through what are thick glass panes, impossible light, all right? All of this is what the state is doing with engineered light while demons are maintaining presence all around. And that is their condition while they're in that what is engineered light, and while they are engaging in present where the entity is engaging in conduct of what is stalking with light. They're demons, and that's demonic. Okay, but like I said, at 3:40 p.m., that's the significance of that video, because you're looking at what is not the perfect alignment from city to city in alignment with me, while that light surrounds inside and outside of the venues. The state's fake sun is visible west of the Ovid Family Community Library, while the state's fake sun is visible while I'm at the property of the Fontana Lewis Library at 3:40 p.m., while also aiming what is supposedly sunlight. Understand, that's directed light, but you want to engage in stalking with the fake sun and acting like that's sunlight, because that's exactly what you're acting like when you're stalking with the fake sun and surrounded with light. But that is not sunlight. Sunlight is not coming down from the sky from the sun and bending downwards into horizontally in order to touch surfaces, to enter through windows and touch surfaces of the sun, which is above buildings. It's not beside buildings. It's not beneath structures. All right. And you were talking about what is a downward trajectory of sunlight. All right. These are questions that apparently nobody poses. All you have to do is pay attention. This is common sense. It's not rocket science. And you were talking about what the state is doing with what is engineered light. And that is also the conduct of that which is not sunlight, that would be coming down from the sun, from the sky above buildings, above us, way above us. Okay. And you're talking about the state engaging in aiming light horizontally through windows, underneath structures, reaching into the depths of buildings, while I'm showing you at a single time, 3:40 p.m., which is merely an illustration of witnessing what is stalking with light, terrorism by a government and a people who are demon-possessed, stalking altogether, engaging in entirely demented conduct. Doing what is underneath the fake sun is nothing other than obsessive stalking conduct on behalf of and consonant with the government. And so at 3:40 p.m., you are not able to see what's supposedly the sun over the Fontana Lewis Library, while also in the city of Ontario, very precise to what is the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, down to the same hour and minute at Pacific Daylight Time, that is, remember as well. Looking at what is supposedly the sun in alignment with the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. While it is also present as documented based on the fact that the state is stalking with the fake sun, then the state is also suggesting that it remains over both properties also early in the morning upon entrance, while following from wherever it is that I'm sleeping with the fake sun over my head and direct the light surrounding to whatever venue it happens to be I happen to go to. That is mutually exclusive, and that is bare bones, a stripping down of what is absolutely impossible, that which is not of the sun, and that which is, understand, literally remaining, loitering, following. Those are terms that define what is stalking. The entity is stalking with light, stalking with not ordinary light, because that's not the sun and that's not sunlight. That's directed light and that's a fake sun. And you are talking about what is entirely demonic. Satan engages in stalking and surrounding and molesting with a peculiar method of light. The demon possessed engage in that conduct of surrounding you and touching you with light, while that ongoing environment of directed light remains all the time. Okay, that's the conduct of demons. That's the conduct of the demon possessed. And like I said, that's the video that I captured at 3:40 while I'm standing outside in the city of Ontario. So you're talking about what is mutually exclusive, while in the city of Ontario, what is west of the city of Fontana. So the state's fake sun is both in front of me, west of the Ovid Family Community Library, after already being west of this venue early in the morning and remaining over me as then I walk east. Also, you're talking about what is west in front of me while I'm at the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, while also being east of this venue in the city of Fontana, while I am showing you what is directed light inside of that computer lab, impossible light activity, and as the light object itself is east of where I am facing. My back is east. The city of Fontana, in other words, is east of me. My back is to where the city of Fontana would be. All right, not the same sky space, not the same possible vantage point, not in alignment. Those two libraries are not in perfect alignment, such that the alleged sun would be visible from both properties. You're talking about facing east in order to capture if that's the actual sun that I'm seeing over the Miller Amphitheater. That is aiming light into the computer lab, which would never occur anyway. But I'm talking about the light object itself. And I'm not facing east, I'm facing west, while I'm standing at the Ovid Family Community Library, a city west of the city of Fontana. Okay, where I've already documented and you witnessed the state moving that fake sun east to the city of Fontana, keeping it until 4:27 p.m. And so how is the state's fake sun also remaining present at 4:27 p.m. as this is documentation already published, while I'm showing you what is directed light through the window of the Fontana Lewis Library? It's visible over the building of the Fontana Chamber of Commerce as I'm showing you out the window. But then right here at 3:40 p.m. in the city of Ontario, you're talking about remaining in alignment with me while I am standing outside of the entrance, showing you what is that light object while my body is not even facing east, my body is facing west. And again, that's just carving out that one little bit of information, absolutely impossible. Because you were talking about what is remaining and following where I go from city to city with this light source. You don't even, you can look at all that. That's the cumulative value. But even that just right there, it's not both over the sky space of the Fontana Lewis Library, over that building, aiming light inside of that computer lab, which the sun isn't going to result in. It would be shaded. That's not going to be a light that's occurring. All right. And you're also understanding what is that peculiar light showing stalking with light while it's touching underneath the shaded structure of the Ovid Family Community Library. And it's also at the same time over the Fontana Lewis Library. No, it's not. No, it is not. And not only that, how else are you understanding and witnessing it? Because the state's light source is in the state of California. And because the state is stalking with that which is a fake sun, that is exclusive, and it is revealing what the state is doing. Indeed, stalking with that which is not the sun, a hovering light source remaining over me in a specific city, in a specific county, a single city, a single county, as I remained in Ontario today, on a single street. Did not change streets until I went to C Street to walk up to the Ovid Family Community Library, stayed on Whole Boulevard all day. All right, except for where the state follows from 630 North Front, where this entity is stalking where I sleep. And in the same way that the entity is molesting and following with directed light, that's what the state is doing inside of a car, while the demon-possessed are aiming, shooting directed light inside of that vehicle, where they are stalking, crossing in the path, just like you saw under the fake sun outside of the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library. Absolutely demon-possessed and demented terrorism by the people of the state. That's the documentation of the government. The government is doing it through the people of the state, doing it with them, engaging in this satanic conduct together, centered on what is interstate stalking. All right, and this is the substance of the video that I captured at 3:40 p.m. And so, like I said, I will remind you, I will give you a video, and again, that's just one illustration because my documentation has already established this. You're not even present in, how are you remaining over me in Glendora? Don't forget that. You're talking about when I went to Palmdale. The state kept its fake sun there. After 4 p.m. at 7-Eleven on Palmdale Boulevard, the state's fake sun is in alignment with me there. Directed light while they open, those demons open and close that 7-Eleven door. Directed light swiping and cross, which was a method of sex offenders touching with engineered light stalking. The state's fake sun is not remaining in alignment. All right, this is not based on time of year because that's not the sun. You're looking at a pattern of maintaining alignment with me, maintaining presence over my head, and then maintaining alignment with me, changing the color as though that fake sun is then setting. It's stalking in the path with a light source. Don't forget that. Also in Los Angeles. Do not forget that. All right, this is ongoing cumulative documentation of stalking with a light source. It's 4:09 p.m. This is P.O.C. Alrighty, I want to document demons crossing path at the turn circle as I am logged out of my podcast, which is monitoring on my phone. I did not log out of my podcast on my T-Mobile A12 phone. This is ongoing monitoring on my communication device as the entity anticipates that I'm going to step outside. I'm going to capture more video of the fake sun that's remaining in alignment with the Ovid Family Community Library, direct contrast to what is remaining over the Fontana Lewis Library, down to the same minute and hour even as I walk. And so as I am going to open up my podcast, I find that I'm logged out, and then you have the demon with license plate. He runs to his car. They're monitoring on my phone. They know exactly what I'm doing. And that is a tactic to try to escape documentation. That is the one that is on video monitoring. Stalking in the path is what that is literally direct evidence of, with which you prosecute. All right, so the government's engaging in conspicuous stalking by the people, okay? The government is doing, and that's what public corruption is, by the way. It's existing right in your face, all right? So this is understanding what the government is doing and who it's doing it through. And it's very plain. They are under a fake sun and in direct light. That's the direct evidence. And that is documentation of what is a sex offender, a group stalker. All right, federal group stalking and monitoring, being prosecuted as a group stalker, shall be prosecuted as what is an exceedingly violent and unprecedented sex offender. And that is the government that is acting through the people of the state. And that is based on the pattern of conduct that the demon-possessed engaged in while they are targeting an American citizen. This is license plate 8YRK879. This is the demon that's on video in the van. And I also documented additional third parties, 7HCX997, 8JUN979. And these are demons that are crossing path one after another. These are demons that are pacing, okay? And then I do capture more images of what is directed light inside of the venue and what is relevant positioning. And again, documentation of that is stalking by the government, doing it right in your face. In the same way, by the way, what the state is doing right in your face with the fake sun, that which no one seems to question. It is a matter of common sense. But by the way, when you are talking about what is the sun, it is very, very exclusive. So for the state to engage in stalking with a fake sun, because that's exactly what it is, and as unheard of and as unfathomable and unthinkable as that is, understand you are revealing what are the secrets of Satan as it works over a people and a government. All right. And because it is unfathomable, does not make it any less of a fact that that is not the sun that is remaining over me, as I'm showing you, and as the state does so, revealing the fact that it is indeed a light source that the state is stalking with, because it is monitoring and targeting American citizens, doing so via communication devices, which is interstate stalking. And that's the existing federal policy with which you can prosecute a government. But again, as I advocate, being subject to this criminal system and the criminal tactics of an entirely malicious system that exists comprehensively in concert with the people of the state, additional federal legislation is absolutely necessary. When you are dealing with those who are abnormal, these are demon-possessed actors. All right, so you are able to thereby drag Satan, for the dangerous sex-offending psychopath it is, under legislation that addresses all of its criminal methods. All right. And so methods of what are ultimately obstruction of justice, seeking to keep that system in operation, engaging in an ongoing sexually violent threat, determination to violate you as a person, determination to stalk you and monitor you and violate your constitutional and human rights, and doing so in the position of government and in the position, the people of the state of California engaging in this criminal system with the government are in the position, they are in the shoes of the state. All right. So those are third parties who were pacing around, engaging in conspicuous stalking, which is what the people of the state do. All right. They are the mask. But again, there is no mask anymore. So you are understanding, first of all, witnessing demonic activity, revealing that condition, and understanding the threat to the public that the entity poses while this demonic system is underway. And that is facilitated by a government that is literally engaged in criminal conduct, and it is a matter of public corruption. In addition to that, like I was stating, stalking with a fake sun, which never looking up in the sky, never posing any logical questions about how you would have what is supposedly the sun remaining in one state and mutually having what is supposedly the sun in another state on the opposite side of the country, even across state lines in Arizona or Nevada. All right. This is revealing what is absolutely impossible, as I'm showing you what is stalking with a fake sun, as I remain on a single street, as I remain in a single city. All right. As I go from one county to another, and the state is keeping a light source directly over my head. This is not the shared experience by the people of the state who are stalking and monitoring with the government. You see, the state remains stationary with the fake sun over me while Delta Airlines flies over. You don't see a sun remaining present over that airline. All right. You don't see it maintaining ubiquitous presence over everyone. You see it maintaining stationary presence over me for whatever amount of time. The moment that I start moving, that light source moves. That is not the experience of everyone else. So Gator Glass, as those minions drove away from that venue, where did the state's fake sun remain? Right over me at Emporia Place Apartments, which you visibly see. The light source itself remains over my head while I'm documenting the demons by license plates and by company names and by government agency. You have what is the maintenance of that state's fake sun directly over my head. It is not mutually maintaining presence over the Ontario Police Department demons who are crossing path repeatedly on Hope Boulevard. It is not remaining over the venue of 630 North Fern, in other words. It is not mutually present at the same time remaining over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library. It is nowhere present over any other state in Arizona and Nevada. All right. It's not over Texas. And that is how you are understanding what is stalking with a fake sun. And that's how you're also understanding what is necessarily ongoing when you are questioning, well, if that's not the sun, which it's not, because you're looking at the conduct with a light source over me. You're looking at what is then the bigger picture, what is over them in the state of Georgia. Okay. Not that I'm doing any commercials, but you can watch television. If you watch Bravo, if you watch any television show and they're standing outside, they're under sunlight. So you think there's a light source over them. They're in the United States. All right. They are on what is in the South, closer to what is Central Time, Eastern Standard Time. You're talking about what is maintaining a fake sun. All right, let's even take that out. This is supposedly the sun that's remaining over me on a single street all day long, which you already know by virtue of that statement. That's not the sun. But like I said, you're underneath the sun in one state, in one city, on one street all day long over one building. Then how is the sun ever in another state over Georgia? All right. And you're talking about what is revealing what the rest of the country is engaging in. Maintaining light sources over American citizens, which nobody questions. And I'll be clear, I was one of them. While I'm in college, while I'm in law school, while I'm studying for the bar, while I'm practicing law, while I'm doing property management, whatever it is that I do, and I live in an apartment, okay, wherever it is that I live, and I'm always driving around in the state of California, I'm not outside looking up, noticing that a light source is remaining over my head. But as soon as I'm in the economic status whereby I am made more aware of my surroundings, and I am experiencing what is abnormal with regard to this light source that is remaining all day, and it is also combined with what is the stalking conduct by law enforcement and the people of the state. All of these are combining circumstances, and it is that which is a reasonable question upon noticing that, because the sun is not possibly remaining over one single state. When you are learning about what they're talking about, sunrises and sunset in different states, what sun is rising over in Georgia? What sun is setting in Georgia or in Florida? It's not the sun, the fake sun that's over me in California, in Ontario, on Hope Boulevard, at 215 East C Street, where the state is acting like the sun is setting. Okay? And that is not the same shared sky space. It's not. All right. So, like I said, those are minions that I documented trying to run, escape, engaging, and pacing around me. And so I captured images of that, and I will publish that onto the Google Drive. My Google Drive is accessible on my website, thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com, where you can see all of the images that I publish. Sometimes, in order to capitalize on my point, I publish the slideshows, which are images that are available in the Google Drive, but I put them up on my website as slideshows, because you are looking at what is the exact same documentation, whether it's in video, whether it's in still images. I'm capturing what is relevant positioning, activity creation, or stalking on behalf of the government. And so all I am doing is helping those to open your eyes and reason with me, okay? Because this is common sense, and it's not rocket science when you're looking at what is bare bones stalking conduct, and it's absolutely abnormal, and it's unnatural, and it's literally impossible as a matter of science. It's impossible. All right, as a matter of nature, that it is absolutely impossible. And so that's all I'm doing. And you go from property. The state's fake sun remaining in alignment with the window at the computer lab in Fontana Lewis Library, which that in and of itself is very precise. Okay, and it's not a coincidence that I'm always able to capture that. All right, you're talking about what is, I don't have this cunning ability to maintain a perfect line in the state of California as I go from city to city. The state is maintaining perfect alignment with me, regardless of where I'm going, which is stalking. It's group stalking with a light source. It's entirely demonic. Okay, and that is speaking to revealing what are, in other words, psychopaths who are stalking you, engaging in the outward form as though it's normal society, and it is not. They're demons that are wholeheartedly focused on one person, and that is me. I'm being monitored by the government. And the government is monitoring in concert with the people of the state. And this is terrorism, because it's absolutely of Satan to stalk with light, to stalk as a group. That's what demons do. They act as a pack. They are cockroaches. And they are doing so while they also stalk with noise. While engineered light remains, you are stalking with noise. That is achieving monitoring with communication devices. All right. That is the very demonic formula whereby the entity is engaging in interstate stalking, monitoring with communication devices. All right. Maintaining a central focus with the use of communication devices while they are stalking as an entity. All right. On behalf and in concert with the government. It's currently 4:23 p.m. And just want to make sure I publish all of those license plates: 7HCX 997, 8JUN 979, and the demon who is stalking, loitering in a relevant position in the van, and then runs out crossing path upon his knowledge that I see that my podcast has been logged out. And again, that's the demon with 8YRK879. All right, to be prosecuted for what is the provision of the evidence. Then again, the government stalking conspicuously by the people of the state. That's how easy it is to document them. It's 4:23 p.m. That's P.O.C.
All right, monitoring in the bathroom. This is stalking in relevant position with light in the path in front of the entrance of the bathroom while another demon opens and closes the door. Understand that's a means of activity creation while I'm in the private space. And that is group stalking conduct by demons who are engaged in surveillance while your panties are down, listening to everything. CA28S61 in relevant position. That's a paper plate. And it's currently 6:32 p.m. 7WID491. 8BKV713, 8FPV066, 6DDE927. This is Rite Aid on G Street. Images of what are group stalkers surrounding me at the back of the store where the pharmacy is. All right, that's where they're concentrating presence, and you have the employee who I captured an image of, a demon, stalking with noise while the other ones maintain presence around me. That is ongoing terrorism while they engage in that. It is currently 6:51 p.m. 04700B3. That is 04700B3. 7:23 p.m. molesting at 630 North Fern. And it looks like hazard lights in front of what is a facilitating venue adjacent to 714. That area right there. There's an apartment complex. The demon of Amazon Prime running to the vehicle right now, stalking with hazard lights in the path. That's a facilitating venue associated with the address 714 North Vine Avenue. Understand they're stalking in the path around the perimeter while demons are patrolling around me at 630 North Fern. 8BHJ934. That's the demonic pattern of stalking with light. That's what you saw the third party doing in front of Emporia Place under the fake sun, okay? Amazon Prime engaging in that pattern. They are demon possessed. They're engaged in commercial stalking in relevant position at the intersection of G Street and Vine, okay? 6LTF296, and that's what I took a picture of. That's an Amazon Prime vehicle with hazard lights on. In directed light. 4RHINO. And it is 7:24 p.m. And as I stated, let me be clear, these demons know what I'm documenting, and it's not a coincidence that the demon that is representing the company of Amazon Prime is running to their vehicle as I'm identifying them, okay? It is also called crossing path. Molesting, license 5WSB 144. Five PZG 617 molesting. 6ZKF 078 molesting. All right, let me get these demons over here. This is Amazon Prime 01797X2. All right, Amazon Prime is stalking, creating light activity in directed light, okay? This is a demon doing nothing but working with a business, monitoring systematically with the government. This is vehicle number 413392. This looks like a white female. She's got a long ponytail. I did capture an image of that, and directed light is on the ground. This is not ordinary headlights. This is directed light in front of the vehicle. I have two shadows as I stand on the sidewalk beside the vehicle, and this is terrorism while they are stalking in the path. Around the corner is relevant positioning while I'm at 630 North Fern. And this is how you're understanding what is an entire comprehensive system. While the entity is monitoring, as this demon opens the door, she creates more light activity. My shadow is to my left, and my shadow is behind me as well, enlarged in size. I'll record you now. What's your name?
Can I help you? I'm stopping.
Did I say something to you? I'm standing on the sidewalk.
Taking pictures.
I'm documenting you. How about that? That's light activity, by the way. That's all she's doing is monitoring. She's a fat face, pimple face, four-eyed, overweight demon monitoring with the company Amazon Prime. Okay, as you can see, those are not headlights. That's not ordinary light. That's on the ground. While this vehicle, this is Amazon Prime, is sitting here in front. That's downward facing, downward trajectory of directed light. That's audible activity while they're stalking with light in the path. Stalking in relevant position where I sleep. The same thing they were doing at American Inn, creeping on the back street of 8th Street while directed light was present, stalking in the path while I'm under the fake sun on Euclid Avenue where the fake sun was directly over me. Again, that's 01797X2. Two shadows of that vehicle, Amazon Prime, and like I said, multiple shadows of my own while I'm standing beside while that demon is creating light activity, facilitating the criminal conduct, which is a threat to the life with the people of the state. License plate 8DUP521. That's the criminal conduct that Amazon Prime is systematically engaging in, representing the commercial stalking by the government. Okay, that's how the government is doing it, through companies, and they are engaging in what is conduct, outwardly looking like they're conducting a business, focused on conducting a business. And you need to understand what they are doing is engaging in the elements, and they're engaging in an ongoing, comprehensive, ceaseless system by virtue of being out in relevant position, delivering packages while they're stalking on behalf of a government. License plate 5VGM 825 or 925. And let me be clear, it is not separate while the state is acting via the people who are driving by the vehicle that I'm inside of, aiming directed light while Amazon Prime is facilitating light activity in directed light. Okay, that's the demonic pattern. That is the P.O.C. All right, and everything that she is saying, let me be clear. She opens the door. This is a malicious act. She's creating light activity. She is monitoring me. She knows exactly what I'm documenting. 8XEB557. Everything she is saying is audible activity in directed light, which is being casted from that vehicle. You can see that is not ordinary headlights. It's directed light, and I'm also being molested with directed light. I have my shadow, again, is behind me and beside me. 41861T1. 8XIV575. And by the way, 7-Eleven in relevant position is monitoring with Amazon Prime. That's creating that light activity. The demons that are on surveillance camera going to that venue are doing nothing but stalking in the path, making purchases and means of documentation. Demons don't have any form. The government has no form monitoring through the people. AF45Y14, that's paper, 43700W2, 7TTR976, 37706R2, 7RXM767, and it's 7:29 p.m. Stalking in the path, aiming light into the store while demons are engaged in surveillance all around inside of the 7-Eleven. License 6SUV633, 7RXM767, 37706R2, 8XWG173, 5WSB144, molesting, 6ACG808. I'm sorry, 6ACC808, and he is molesting as well. He's crossing path, he's walking in directed light, he's in operation of his communication device while that demon with 5WSB144 intentionally touches me. They're monitoring together though, so you understand how sex offenders violate as one. They're monitoring with the state on behalf of the state. 6LIF296. This is 7-Eleven located at 636 North Vine Avenue. It's 7:34 p.m.
That is impossible audible activity. It's attributed to Union Pacific. Now understand, while the state creates this environment around me, demons associated with companies such as Amazon Prime are stalking in relevant position, creating light activity, monitoring on the opposite side of the block. So understand the importance of and the significance of and the purpose of the criminal purpose and the terrorizing purpose of maintaining an environment where it is that I'm sleeping. That's also the relevant context. Okay, you have what is directed light everywhere. So creating light activity and doing so in a commercial vehicle. And first of all, the P.O.C, there's no form. But second of all, Amazon Prime has been specifically made an example of with regard to the entirely demented company and actors that comprise that logo and that company, representing what the reality of what they are doing to American citizens, which is entirely demonic. It is demented. All right. And it is absolutely criminal. Okay. And so while they are engaging in what is the outward form of ordinary, seemingly lawful conduct, it is actually public corruption in plain sight. The elements are underway. Okay. And everything that that third party, again, what she was saying is I'm encountering a demon, first of all, an absolute psychopath. All right. And you're talking about what is engaging in criminal conduct, knowledge that I'm documenting her. OK, not because I'm standing there and holding my phone up either. She knows when I'm approaching on turning the corner onto on G Street. That's why that demon is running back to her vehicle. And this is when I take a picture. And this is not a coincidence. This is ongoing knowledge. And this is exposure and revealing the demons that surround. And this is why specific legislation is necessary, not because you're going to engage in telepathy and reading people's minds and none of that. You're talking about understanding malice. It's inherently malice. The level of malice is absolutely vicious. It's abnormal. Okay. And you're talking about understanding what you are dealing with. All right. And it is the government and the level of malice that the government is capable of. You're talking about literally using your position as the government and engaging in all manner of criminal conduct. And that's the reality. All right. This is not pessimism. This is what the government is literally doing. And you're understanding that level of malice. All right. And so it is currently 7:38 p.m. and that is P.O.C. And I'm speaking to what is the environment while Amazon Prime is on another corner in relevant position, creating light activity. All right. Monitoring an American citizen where they are sleeping. That is stalking a homeless person. That's what Amazon Prime is engaging in. All right. I'm sleeping in a car. They're stalking and monitoring me. All right. And there are demons doing so. They're just demons working for a specific company, a company that has been heavily documented engaging in that demented system on behalf of the government. 7:39 p.m. P.O.C.